You guys notice that Paul's gotten fatter with every episode?
No, I haven't. I've lost 15 almost pounds. I'm a beast candy in the next 6 months. What?
I know the brink's coming. Know the brink's coming.
Hello!
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to Bass and Brews
I
Podcast,
messed that up.
your weekly distraction from quality podcast content. And also, we have just become known as a shitty podcast who
Yes.
hates jet skiers.
Yeah. Hey, if you guys haven't seen the YouTube short, it's that TikTok I put out about how jet skiers look stupid on the water and nobody likes them. And honestly, we say a lot of jokes on the show, but I'm going to stand by that one. Jet skiers can go fucking pack sand. You guys look stupid. You're annoying. But YouTube got really mad about it. Dude, they made fun of my lisp. It was absolutely hilarious. And what's funny is I think they thought they were going to hurt my feelings, but they didn't. And I've been really channeling my inner jabberhammer lately when it comes to social media, because we've had a couple of these videos pop off into like the millions and hundreds of thousands. But now I'm channeling jabberhammer, where I just try to confuse them. So they'll say something mean and I go, yeah, you tell them. And then they're like, no, I'm talking about you. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
And then
Just
they get
agree
really
with them.
confused. Yeah.
Just agree with him. It's like the guy who said something about, the guy with a failing podcast hates jet skiers.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, we're not the shittiest fishing podcast in fishing podcast land for a reason, buddy.
Exactly. And then he just responded back with question marks.
Nothing.
He was confused. Yeah.
Did he respond back? Most of them don't
yeah, he
respond back because they're little biatches.
They are. Hey, everybody. I'm already derailed. Hey, you guys remember our fun
Patreon.
game? Oh, yeah. Sign up for the Patreon. That's patreon.com/Bass and Brews. 1, it supports the show, which is dope. And then 2, that's your only way to access Last Call with Alex and Paul, the Patreon exclusive live show every first Friday of the month, except for
next month.
July. Yeah.
Because we're not doing it on
and-
July 5th.
No, we're going to do it the next week after
Hey,
that.
did we get any reviews? Because I
Yeah.
would assume,
We
did any of the YouTube people come review us and give us shitty stars and a bad
They
review?
did not. No.
Bums.
Actually, I haven't looked at that. I think we're still sitting at 2 1-star reviews. So that's no, because they're cowards and they ride jet skis, so they're too busy sleeping with their sister.
Heyo.
Hey, so everybody knows the game, but if you're new, here's the game. Go to Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review, and then be as mean as fucking possible in those comments. And guess what? If you do that, we're going to read your comment right here on the show. And this one is from Zilk Cornbread. I'm going to start off with, that's an awful name.
I don't know.
Red
Anybody
foul.
with a name Cornbread, they my boy. Because I love good
Yeah.
cornbread.
The title of this one says, Apple Podcast said my last review was vile. So this person had to do a whole separate review because they understood the assignment, be as mean as possible. So here's what got through Apple's, safe word filters. It says, warning, before you listen to this podcast, ask yourself this question. Are you a low-life degenerate that wishes to waste hours of your lifetime listening to the most heinous ear rape you could possibly listen to? If so, you're in luck. This podcast may cause degenerative brain cell loss and the questioning of your existence. And it may also urge you to head to your local church and pray for forgiveness. Hey, Cornbread. Fuck you. But thanks for the 5 stars.
I will say this. For
That was a
us,
good one.
we know quite a bit of our listeners. We interact
Mhm.
with them on the social media. You know, we DM with a lot of them. And when they write these reviews, either they are in the Google thesaurus getting words that, looking up words that are clever
Dude, they're stepping it
and
up.
highly educational. But
Yeah.
the people who leave these reviews, I cannot believe they actually listen to the podcast because they are very, very good, descriptive, and highly educated in wordsmiths on the reviews. They do use good words.
They do. Hey, everybody. So we've got Emma Calzone on today. So I'm going to be honest. So we haven't been the nicest to fly fishermen, and
Shit.
we're not gonna change that. But I will say I ran across Emma's content a couple months ago, maybe a little bit longer, and when I asked her to be on the show, I was like, I bet you this is going to be Matty Ice, and he's been catfishing us the whole fucking time.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be Matty Ice because Matty Ice is the most despised, hated person on Fish Talk, and it's for due reason. This dude set fire to his garage for content. He only fishes for bluegill because anything more than that, his stupid little whippy fly rod's going to break. No, I'm just joking, Matty. You're the man. Good to see you back on TikTok lately. Still catching the tiniest fish ever.
Alex only loves Matty Ice when he's not on the podcast, because when he's on the podcast, Alex he might as well be not here.
I was waiting for Emma to show up with a helmet on, and then she lifts it up, and it's fucking Matty Ice, actually. That's what that was.
With some kind of weird lights going on and him stroking his plastic cock.
Correct. And that would be a chicken, just so we're clear for all
It would actually be a rooster, not a chicken.
It would be.
An actual rooster.
All right, we've got Emma on. Emma is a creator I found on TikTok. She does awesome fly tying videos, right? And so a lot of times fly tying videos...
disconnected.
Bluetooth disconnected. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for fucking that up again. Anyways, a lot of fly tying videos.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Would you stop, Paul?
I disconnected it for real.
Thanks.
That time.
Anyways, a lot of fly tying videos.
Hey, Alex.
Oh my
what
God!
hat do you have on tonight?
Stop. It's Original Pattern, a brewery from Oakland, California. I'm switching up hats like you asked. Now shut up. Anyways, she does fly tying content. I think that stuff can a lot of times be boring, to be honest, right? I'm not a fly fisherman. I do enjoy. I think it's really funny that there's a weird niche in fishing where you can watch people like fly ties or
what?
Not fly ties.
Tie
I
flies.
see that all the time.
Or like when they're tying jigs like that. That's cool to watch, right? But sometimes they're a little boring. Emma does a great job of the lip syncing to the music, kind of jamming out with the watcher as they're going on. Absolutely love the content. It's awesome. I have noticed lately you've been putting more on the water too. All does nothing but expand what you're doing, and we're extremely stoked to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. It's an honor. It's I picked up fly tying in January, actually. So putting my content out on TikTok, it's more of a hobby. It's fun. It keeps me going, right? But I was nervous to post this stuff because I'm like, my flies look like shit.
Right.
I'm so new. I've only been doing it, since January. Was all these people been doing it for years, have been so helpful, and the outreach I've gotten from people has been wonderful. Everyone's like super positive. I've gotten fly orders I never would have expected. Everyone's like, oh, try this. People are like, can I just send you some fly materials? I had a guy send me a box of stuff. He's like, you're just getting off. I know it's expensive. Here's a box full of materials. And I was just like, wow, you are all so freaking nice. I thought I would just get crapped on the whole time. So it's been a really fun experience.
That is interesting, because most of the fly angler folks that we have on talk about how uppity fly anglers can be and how they are some of the biggest assholes in the fishing world.
Yes.
And for you to say that, that's pretty awesome. That changes my mind a little bit on the fly fishing folks.
No, they're still assholes.
I commend them for that. You got to give props where props are due, and I commend them for that.
The whole thing's
not
great.
Bobber. That's my whole
That's the worst.
thing.
That's
I'm
the
like,
worst.
it floats. It's frickin' bobber. I don't know what
Right?
to tell you guys.
No, but it's awesome. And here's why I think you've had the success that you have is that you're injecting your personality into something that could be kind of boring. But watching somebody new doing it, everybody loves that. I love seeing somebody try something new out. It's awesome. You get that whole, to get to watch somebody kind of grow. It's great. But the big part is your personality. You do a great job of being happy, positive. We need more of that. It's great. We need more of that and less videos shitting on jet skiers. I think it makes everything healthier.
I agree with you on the jet skier commentary. So
they're the worst. They're the worst. They're the worst. Go ahead, Paul.
What?
Let's hear
if
your.
If they're going to live their lives and be happy on a jet ski, let them be happy, Alex.
No,
let them be happy.
Okay, that's fine. But have you ever gone to the grocery store Emma, you're from Ohio. I know you see this on a daily basis, and you see that like super trailer trashy family come in, right? And like she's got Dale Earnhardt's number tattooed on her upper arm, and then right below it is like 8 of her 9 kids, all down. One's crossed out because that kid's an asshole. He got a degree and he left the park, right?
This is
That's what jet
Alex's
skiers are.
story too, by the way. Alex is telling his life story right now.
Oh, beautiful.
That's pretty-
I love
Pretty
that.
close, pretty close. But that's what jet skiers are. They're that person that where they have to put up the sign that says like, we will not take money from underboobs, right? That's what jet skiers are.
Speaking of grocery store, jet skiers are the people that don't put their buggies in the buggy cart. They
Yes,
leave
they
them. They leave
park
them in the parking lot.
and let them
Yeah.
just skitter down and bump your car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're the worst. So guess what? You heard it first from Emma and Bass and Brews. Jet skiers, go fuck yourselves. And if you
All right.
listen to the show, keep listening, I guess. I'm going to keep making fun of you.
Here's in the green room and through text, and this just happened like 10, 15 minutes before we came on. Emma here said, "Hey, do you guys like cats?" And that was a grand opening for me to be like, "Oh, I love fucking kitty cats. They are the
God,
most
it says
awesome."
kitty cats. It's the
And
worst.
so we had a bunch of and she drinks White Claws. Hey-o. And we had quite a few conversations. And in the green room, I was telling her about my last kitty cat that I had. And I said, I got to save this story. And I might have told it on here before, but if so, it doesn't matter. I'm going to say it again. And Emma, this is a story, okay? So I shut it off before. So we adopted, my wife and I, girlfriend at the time, adopted 2 cats in 2003.
Your wife and girlfriend?
She was my girlfriend at the time.
I
now
thought
my
you
wife.
meant you guys were in
Okay.
a throuple.
You had a
I thought
mistress
you were
or
in a
something,
throuple.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hell no. I am too poor to have more than one wife. I do have a neighbor wife, but she doesn't cost me anything. I just give her food. But now she's starting to get a little comfortable, and she teams up with me on my wife on talking shit. Not in the bedroom. But anyway, so the biggest thing is this. So we adopted these kitty cats. They were probably 2-3 years old age when we got them in 2003. One died about 13 years later, 2016 or so. The other one died in like 2018. Well, during 2018 or 17, I was on a construction job, and this little kitten ran into the construction job I was doing. I was like, oh, God, I got to get this cat. It's going to piss on everything, this and that. And it wedged itself between a window and the desk. So I reached down to grab it behind the head to get it out, thinking it was going to be a...
Right.
And anyway, I reached down, I grabbed it, and it didn't do anything. And I was carrying it out, and it was side-eye me. And so I put it in my arm, and I started petting it. And it just laid there, and it started purring before I got out to the back of the store. And when it did that, I was like, oh, this is my cat now. So I
Cat
put it...
distribution system.
I put the cat in a laundry basket that I had with a little towel, and I put a lid over the top so it couldn't get out. And I'm texting my wife. It's like, hey, this cat ran into blah, blah, blah. And then I'm texting one of our friends because we'd seen this little cat out before. Our neighbor, so this was in a little shopping center. The place beside us was a Little Caesars Pizza. And we saw the cat outside a day or two before, and it was eating a Little Caesars piece of pizza.
A cat of
So
great
one of the
taste.
girls,
Right.
one of the girls that I worked with, she brought some cat food over that night and set it out, and it was all gone. All right. So I got this cat. I captured this cat, and I've got it. And I'm telling her, I was like, hey, do you want it? She's like, I can't get it, blah, blah, blah. My wife keeps texting me, you better not bring that fucking cat home. Don't bring that cat home, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm not going to bring it home. I'm trying to find a place for it to live. I'm not going to bring it home. Well, I had a shop out back that my wife never went into. So I brought it home that afternoon and put it in the shop. And I put a little litter box and food out there, and it just had free range. Anyway, I ended up naming it Little Caesar. And we had this cat for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we were going on vacation. And we had some friends coming to look after our other cat and our 2 dogs. Well, we had a group text going on. Well, I had a side group text with them, minus my wife, about taking care of Little Caesar in the shop. On the way there, she's like, "Oh, she grabbed my phone and said, I got to text him something about the dogs."
No.
And she found that, and she was mad. We were going to the beach or either, I can't remember, we were going on a week-long vacation. Anyway, I had to hear about this fuck cat, blah, blah, blah. So when we got back, the cat was a free-range cat, outside, inside. didn't mess with my birds, but it was a squirrel killing machine. Little Caesar, I would go into the shop and I can't tell you how many, just the tail of a squirrel was in there. I don't know what the hell he was doing with the rest of it, but he was a squirrel killing machine. Anyway, so Little Caesar, we moved from where we lived, and he was outside cat. He didn't come inside. Every now and again I'd let him in, but didn't stay inside. So Little Caesar, when we were moving, I'm like, I'm bringing this fucking cat. Well, we were moving into an apartment, and we couldn't have all these animals. And at this point in time, we had 2 labs. So my mom lived at a place and she has cats and dogs and stuff. So we take Little Caesar to live with her with the idea we're going to get it when we get a house. When we get a house, my wife's like, I don't really want Little Caesar back. And my mom's like, I really love Little Caesar, and he loves it here at our house. So I'm like, well, fuck, I guess I ain't get my cat back. A couple years later, my wife goes, one of our labs died. And my mom says, what if we got Little Caesar? And so she said that. I think she texted it to maybe me and my daughter. Anyway, I texted my mom like right then and there, says, hey, we're getting Little Caesar. And in a week, Little Caesar was back at the house. I was so excited, loved it, so happy.
That's wonderful.
And so we get Little Caesar back. He's doing great for about 9 months. And then he gets like a UTI. And which is, happens with boy kitty cats, and got to change food and all this and that. Well, all of a sudden we started getting pee in the house. If anybody knows anything about cat pee, that shit is the fucking worst.
Yep.
So this goes on for a few months, and I try everything, extra litter, like everything under. And finally I was like, we just got to get rid of the cat. It's got to go back to my mama's. So it's so sad because I got to give the cat back to my mom. I don't have Little Caesar anymore. Like, I'm really upset. And my mama was sending all these updates on a group text, and I exited the group text because it shit made my heart hurt. And I was so sad. Come to find out, the other lab, Otis, that we had, he was the one doing all the fucking pissing.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Let's go, Otis.
No way.
So he's doing all the damn pissing in the house, and I'm all upset. This is like months later, we finally figured this shit out. And so even to this day, I tell my wife, like, oh my God, blah, 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 this and that, Otis doing all the pissing. But Little Caesar's doing great. It's a sad story because I don't have him anymore, but he's doing great at my mama's house and loves it, and has, he's got some friends.
It's a good story. It's a good story for Otis. Fucking way to go, Otis. Like, way to go.
That son of a bitch. They blame this cat peeing on all the stuff. And I'm sitting here going, how did this cat pee here? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how he peed here.
Guys, so good.
Yeah, it's just, and that son of a
Otis
bitch.
is going to do the same thing with Oscar. He's going to start pissing and blaming it on him.
No, he don't need no help. Oscar's becoming housebroke, but he's a little shit too. Actually, he is a cool little dog. He looks like a little Ewok. But I just told Sarah today, like 10 minutes before we came out here, I was like, oh my God, if Little Caesar was here, him and Oscar would be like best friends.
No, they wouldn't. No,
but anyway, Emma, that's my cat story. That was
great.
That was so sad that I told you.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to Bass and Brews. Yep, everybody have a good night. That's it.
This is going to be a kitty cat episode.
All right,
and
well,
I have a buddy of mine that was a buddy, when I first started wildland firefighting. Andy Hicey is his name, but I call him Hicey. And him and I he sends me some cat videos, but I send him anywhere from 4 to 15 a day.
Incredible.
From TikTok and Instagram. And real quick, I just sent y'all this, and I saw this today in Minneapolis. They have a cat tour.
Yes, I've seen.
Oh
that
my
on
God!
TikTok. I'm like, why do I not have that in
Yes.
my neighborhood? I see so many kitties in the neighborhood. I do a daily walk around my neighborhood, and I see so many cats in people's windows, and I'm like, we need a cat tour in my town, and my cats will be in those windows.
I sent this to Hicey and said, dude, we're taking a boys trip up to Minneapolis for the cat tour next year.
Worst
And
boys
I
trip
also
ever.
told my wife, I said, Hicey and me are going to Minneapolis next year for the cat tour. I said, it's going to be a boys weekend. And it's going to be booze and pussies weekend.
Oh my, that's hilarious. I need
Paul,
to go. That's
you
gonna be
shouldn't
awesome.
have. Paul, you shouldn't have told him what it was. You should have just been like, "Hey, man, we're gonna have a boys trip," and he's like, "Oh man, what are we gonna do?" And then he show up and it's a fucking cat tour.
But no, that's the thing about Hicey. That's the thing about Hicey, though. Like he he's all in. Like him and I love. He's got kitty cats. He's got 2 kitty cats, and they're cool as shit. And he had 2 before. And when I stayed with him and his wife Susie Q, their big cat, that thing weighed like 20 pounds. It would always sleep in the room that I slept in. It slept on my legs, and I couldn't move because it didn't want to upset the cat. Also, it weighed 20 pounds, and I couldn't move. But oh my gosh, it was so fun. But no, I didn't have to trick him. He's all about the booze and pusses in Minneapolis next year.
That's the best boys trip ever. Just
I know.
throw it out
Look,
there.
and if anybody wants to go with us,
I was
let
about
us
to
know.
say.
We'll set it up. Yeah.
Listen,
Well,
maybe we'll do
we'll
a
record.
Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
Patreon
for
meetup.
sure.
Yeah, exactly. I will not. Be
Nothing
there.
to do with fishing. We're going
No.
going
Well, it's
catfishing.
Bass and Bruce. It's
Yeah,
bad,
it's catfishing.
It's Bass and Bruce. It's
Bass
very
Cats
rarely
and
about.
Bass Cats and Brews. We're going
There
to
we
change the
go.
name of the podcast. Alex, I'm going to go adopt a couple cats and send to you.
Perfect. No,
And then I'm going to adopt
No.
a couple, and we're just going to have
No.
cats run around during the podcast every time
No.
every episode.
I like cats. We had 2 really older cats.
Oh,
They
they're
died
Sparkles.
recently. Toast.
Hi, sweetie. This
That's
is
not
Pearl.
Toast.
Yeah,
Pearl.
this is
Pearl.
Pearl.
I was close.
That looks the
Sparkles,
same.
Pearl.
Interrupts most maybe. Sparkles is kind of cute actually. Come here. She's it's crazy. She's super shy. Like whenever we bring people over, she hides, and I'm like, girl, like people want to love on you. But she's improving with her social skills. I don't know. She was found outside by a rescue, and if you have time, I'll tell you her adoption story. Actually.
Hell yeah, this
Yeah.
is your podcast.
Go
I've
for
already
it.
told
Do
my
it.
kitty
Okay.
cat story.
Okay, so we found Toast outside, scooped her up, adopted her. She was a TNR, which is the trap neuter release. So she has that like little chip in her ear. And they're like, oh, Toast needs a friend. So I convinced my at the time boyfriend. I was like, Toast needs a friend. He's like, get her a kitten. She can train it to be a cool cat like her. I was like, kittens are menaces. Are you sure you want this? He's like,
Yeah.
yes, I want a kitten. I was like,
And
"You're
also, cats
Timothy."
don't train. Cats and dogs aren't alike. They do not train each other. A fucking cat is going to be whatever the fuck that cat wants to be, and there's nothing you or any other cat can do to change it.
Exactly. Yep. So I saw Pearl on this website of a local cat rescue, and she had 2 siblings that looked identical. I'm like, oh, she's some sort of Siamese kitten, whatever. And I was like, Chris, like, this is the one. I want that cat. So I emailed them, and I was like, I don't care about any of the other cats. I was like, your other cats are cute. Don't get me wrong. I was like, but for some reason, I want that cat, Pearl. And they called me, and they're like, yeah, you can have her. Like, you're the only person who said you want Pearl outside of all of the other Siamese kittens. Like, for some reason, you want her. We felt it would be a good fit. You don't just want her because she's Siamese. I was like, great. So we adopted her. She was a menace, but I love her to death. She's a sweetie. She's 2 now.
Is she?
Well,
Is she very vocal?
Yes, loves
Yeah.
to meow. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
we had
Yes.
our oldest one that just died. Oh man, that was the worst. So I'd just gotten back, Paul, from Alaska, right? Did my whole retirement deal, and we had to go down to Florida for a brother-in-law's wedding. The cat was not doing well. We had friends come over to kind of watch her, and at this point, we had gotten her in 2006. My wife found her in Oakland. This little tiny Siamese. We thought she was a kitten. Come to find out, she was 2 years old at that point. Already been
Aw.
spayed. She was just a tiny, tiny little Siamese, right? So on our way home, we're all about ready to go into, go through TSA, go through all the checks. And the friend who's watching it goes, hey, Bella didn't make it. Like she
Aw.
passed away. And at that time, we're about ready to go through fucking security. And Amanda, my wife, and my
shit.
2 kids are bawling
Oh
as I'm
my
trying to get like
gosh.
IDs. And I look at the agent and I go, I swear they want to go on this flight. I'm not stealing them. He did not think that was funny at all. But she was so loud. She would talk all the time, and she loved heights. And because she was so
Aw.
small, she could jump up. We watched her go from floor to the top of our bedroom door as it was open,
Gosh.
and then just lay on the door, not the frame, like the door as it was swung open. She
Yeah.
would just lay there and just talk to you the whole time. She was a cool cat.
Oh.
Yeah, good cat. But I'm glad. But and then she died. So we'll keep. She sat next to. We put her in the freezer, or our friend did, so we could bury her. To be honest, the kids at that time were a year younger. But anyways, they were really excited because we had some ice cream cake, and I forgot.
Oh my God, no.
So I was like, "Hey, we can have some cake. Go grab it out of there." And then my oldest comes out. is this Bella? And it's her wrapped because we wanted to preserve so we could bury her because my wife's mom and dad have like a family plot of animals, and that's when so they pulled out frozen Bella, and we kind of set her to the side, and we had some cake, and then we went and buried her.
We put our first kitty cat in the freezer when he died because it took me a couple of days to bury him. His name was Brutus, a big old orange kitty cat. He was awesome. He slept with me for like the last 3 years of his life. Every time I get in bed and lay on my back, and I'd put my right arm out, and I'd say, Brutus, kitty.
Yep.
And he would come in and jump on there and sleep. And then Missy, our little gray kitty, she died, and we had her cremated. And my daughter has never let those ashes get out of her sight since then.
Crazy. Hey, Paul, I don't like to compliment you because you're a fat piece of shit. That's a detriment to this entire show. But I will say, Paul, you nail it with naming animals. Like, you had Little Caesar, Brutus, Otis is a dope name, and now Oscar. Like, these are all amazing names for animals. Like,
I
they're
didn't
very
name
solid.
Missy. I did name our other lab, which is Otis's daddy. His name was Old Stony Dean. We called him Stony.
What the fuck?
And
solid names.
Yeah. I didn't name Oscar. That was the kids.
They did great.
Well, the kid and Sarah and Audrey named Oscar. Sarah named Missy. Missy was a little bitch kitty, though. I mean, she was quiet and all. She was didn't like to be held or anything. She was just a little bitch kitty, but she became loving the last few years of her life, and she was kind of Sarah's kitty cat. But yeah,
but with Oscar, that's a great name because we have a small dog now, and my wife let the kids name it, and the kids are really into this cartoon called Sophia the First.
Yep.
And it was a bullshit fucking cartoon. It was awful. It was trash. That kid had like the biggest fucking head, like this giant like candy corn fucking head.
Like Jada Laurinetta, who's it, Jada from the Cooking Channel.
I don't watch that.
I
know your fat ass does. Hey, Paul, watching the Cooking Channel, is that like porn for you when you just watch all that fucking food and you just get so excited?
No, because I do all my own cooking. I don't have to watch the Cooking Channel.
Oh, yeah. Also, people got mad about the jet ski. A little rewind in this week in social media for the Bass and Brews boys. Also, people don't like it when you make brisket burgers because they get real fucking upset in the comments. If you guys aren't following Paul on YouTube and TikTok, he's doing a shit ton of like cooking videos. We don't put it on Bass and Brews because we only put good content out. But Paul has his shit going on, and he pissed a lot of people off in how you handled that brisket, and I was all for it. I thought it was the best thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, I can get that brisket at Costco for like $3.50 a pound, and it makes really, really good burgers. And I save a piece of it to. I've got a video coming out. I made some burn-ins. I do barbecue.
People were fucking pissed though. Yeah, like, how dare you cut that?
They were mad. Yeah, Ramon was the worst. Ramon was the absolute worst. Like, his feelings were hurt.
They
were hurt.
That is priceless.
He wasn't hurt.
Hey, do you do any cooking, Emma?
I do. I'm kind of boring. I just meal prep. Like, I love cooking. Like, I'll make pasta from scratch and things like that. But I just meal prep on Sundays because when it's nice out, I want to be outside after work, and I don't want to be cooking. So I'm like, Sundays, I will suck it up. I will meal prep for the week, and then the rest of the week I can just screw off after work.
Do you cook any calzones, or do you just use that name because it's better than Simone?
Well,
I've made calzones before, and I love calzones.
Calzones are good.
They're freaking fire. So
they are. Hey, speaking of Ramon, real quick, everybody go check out fishslaps.shop. That's FISHSLAPS.shop. He put out these really cool fucking stickers. My favorite is he's got a picture of a log, and it says biggin, because every fisherman's biggest fish is probably just a log they broke off on. He's also got one with a worm. It's on a juice box, and it says the juice. They're all solid. He's also got some really like hardcore bass and bluegill stickers.
Oh, no, that's not his.
That's the wrong one. There's the big one. So go check them out. They're actually like reasonably priced. They're good stickers. It's like $2 a pop. Nice. Check them out though. Fishslaps.shop. Wrong one. That's Brightleaf, dipshit.
Hey, speaking of
All right.
Brightleaf, I got to give Brightleaf a shout out right now
God.
because I entered in their 4th of July drawing and I won. I won their 4th of
I would
July
fucking
drawing.
hope so. You have
Congrats.
promoted
I
them
won.
so fucking hard the last 2 months.
This was a random drawing. The other thing, one of the other guys that won it is UNC Equipment on Instagram, and he's the equipment manager for UNC football, who was the associate equipment manager when I played. His name is Jason, and him and I go eat lunch a couple times a year. And so when they posted that, I was like, holy shit. So I texted him and I told Justin, the guy that does all Brightleaf social media, I was like, Bo, I know the other guy who won.
Yeah,
And
you guys
it was
met
awesome.
at Jenny Craig. That's good.
No, Jason's like super skinny because he
Hey.
works in football, so he's not fat at all. But Brightleaf, I got my
Wait.
Brightleaf hat on. I got
Yep.
my Brightleaf koozie. I got
There you go.
Brightleaf in the
Ready to
fridge that we're
go.
eating. I got Red
Hey,
Hots,
did you
bologna,
get their
sausage,
Yeti?
smoked
Did
sausage.
you get their Yeti?
Yep.
You did? You got one of the Brightleaf Yetis? No fucking way. Paul's going off camera to pull it. They have like this custom Yeti, and the Brightleaf looks good. Look at that fucking thing. That's
Ooh,
awesome.
That's sick. That's cool.
Nothing
nice.
better for a fat man than a Yeti full of fucking meat, because that's Paul's throwing away the Yeti because he just wants the red hot dogs in it.
Hell yeah.
I want to back up. You said you played football. I'm not super into sports, but I'm curious to hear about this.
He didn't really play football. He was the third string punter. We've actually covered this.
Don't listen
If
to
you
Alex. I did play
you
football when
sat
I was the
bench?
second string. I
You
was
did.
the starter. I was starter 2 times in my whole career.
Yep.
And for the most part, for 2 years, I was the backup. And
Yep.
then for 2 years, I wasn't. But yeah, I played football at University of North Carolina. Tar Heels, go Heels. Early
Also,
2000s. We're
if
much
you
older
guys-
than you, Emma.
If you guys want a deep dive into Paul's athletic career, last month's last call with Alex and Paul, I found stats from NCAA. I also found high school footage of him playing baseball. So if you sign up, you can still go back to those older episodes and watch. They're about an hour long, and I try to do like a "This Is Your Life" type deal. And the only disappointing part is Paul has no shame, so he wasn't sad about it. And everybody knows there's nothing I love more in life than sad tournament day Paul, like when he's just fucking sucked at fishing. Like anytime Paul's sad, I love, and I think that's why we get along. Like,
And Alex thought that he was going to, like, dig
Embarrass
me
him.
for that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't embarrassed because if you go listen to the episode, everything he talked about were highlights of my career.
yeah,
And
he
if you also
peaked in
want to
high
hear
school.
No, I didn't. I did not peak in high school. If you also want to go back and listen to some of my college days, you go back and listen to the episode last year with Coach Powell.
Yep, that was a good
And
one.
Coach Powell was on there. And matter of fact, Coach Powell moved down closer. And we've talked about this a couple of times since he's been down. He's now coaching at East Carolina University in Greenville, North Carolina, which is a couple hours from me. And him and I have gone fishing quite a few times. And we probably talk 2 or 3 times a week now about fishing because he's so close. So if you want to go back and listen to, somebody who actually coached me and know
I
that it's
don't
not a
recommend
lie, I actually did play. We have proof from a real
I don't
life coach.
recommend it because when everybody points out that sometimes I might drink too much, they always point out to that episode because I got fucking annihilated on accident on that episode. So
At an hour, if we go past an hour and 40
Yeah.
minutes, Alex is slurring his words on every
Oh, I
episode.
love that.
I
Unless
was
he
like
shows up late.
pre-drinking. Yeah, well, like I was pre-drinking that one, and then I finished because as most people know that this Yeti cup is not filled with water; it's with bourbon. That one, I finished my whole cup of bourbon within the first half an hour, and I remember I had to leave to go get more, and that was the sign of like. And by the end of it, I apologize to all you loyal listeners. I got through that episode. I mean, it's going to happen again. Like that's just obvious. But yeah. Anyways, Paul, do your intro. So we're 30 minutes in. Let's introduce Emma properly.
Emma, we don't do a lot of research on our people. We don't ask for a bio
That's not
to
true.
read about you. We don't do that stuff. We want our guests to come on here and to intro themselves because nobody tells a story like the story of yourself. What is the journey? What's the fishing journey that has brought you here to where you are today?
Wow,
Oh,
that was-
boy.
Hold on, real quick, Emma. Paul, that is the best version you've ever given of that. That was
That's the
so
version
fucking good.
when you
Yeah.
were gone for 9 months. That's the version that I did. But then when you
Oh.
came back, you always want to talk shit about it, and so I got to make it shorter and not
All right, take it
interesting
all
because
back.
you interrupt me.
I take it
So
all back.
you're
It
an
was garbage.
asshole.
Oh,
Emma,
All right,
you
Emma.
just got the good intro, so don't fuck it up.
all right, I'm here to fuck it up. Um, so I've been fishing since I was like 7 or 8 years old. My dad used to take my brother and I out fishing on a private lake we had access to on the Cuyahoga River before they tore the dam down. I don't expect you guys to know the whole Cuyahoga River story. It's the burning river for those who do know of it.
Is
Yep.
this is in Ohio or Pennsylvania? Because I've seen you
Ohio.
post. Okay,
I'm
so
an
Ohio.
Ohioan. Yep.
Okay.
So I grew up doing all that kind of fishing, going on Lake Erie charters, and I had fished just throughout my teens, throughout, my 20s and whatnot, but I was always like a bobber and worm kind of girl. And then I met my now fiance, Chris. And during the pandemic, he's like, I'm going to teach you how to actually fish. Like, this ain't it, And I was like, okay, whatever. He introduced me to like glide baits, Bobby Garland's top water, bait casters, kayak fishing, like fell in love, And during the pandemic, what kept us both sane was fishing because there was no one out there, right? So we took advantage of that, and I always wanted to fly fish, and I was like, I'm going to suck at it. It looks really difficult. It looks so challenging. And I started following some steelhead pages on Facebook, and I was like, I think my first steelhead has to be on a fly. To me, trout fishing and fly fishing are just go hand in hand. I don't know why, but to me it just makes sense. So I started fly fishing in 2021. I bought a $100 fly rod off of Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, I don't want to drop hundreds of dollars in case I hate it, right? So I got this just not great quality fly rod. It was super tough to use. I hated fly fishing. What's up?
All right. So I want to get it. I'm
Let her
being Emma,
finish.
right? I'm being Emma right now. I want to get into fly fishing, so I buy a cheap $100 combo.
Yeah.
Where when people that want to buy a cheap get into fishing bass rod and reel, it's like
$20.
$50,
Yeah.
$20 from
$20,
Walmart.
Yeah. Ugly stick all the way. You'll be
Yeah,
fine.
from, like, Walmart or
Shakespeare and an
something.
ugly,
Yeah.
Shakespeare
Yeah.
rod and reel combo.
Yep, which I had one for a while. I love.
Yeah.
They work great.
They do.
But yeah, so I was steelhead fishing with a few local guides, just to learn casting, what it's like to steelhead fish and whatnot. I lost every fish that I had on the line for probably a year or two, and it was
Holy shit.
very painful. Yeah, there was one day
Steelheads
I
are
had,
gnarly.
yeah, and I had at least 10 on the line one day and lost every single one. And I was like, I hate fly fishing. This is trash. This is terrible. And my fiance would bring his spinner set up and crush it in front of me. And I'd be like, you monster. Like, you are slaying it. And I'm over here, like, about to cry,
Yeah, but there's a thing to say about him bringing a spinning reel fly fishing
It's
and you
called
actually
being
fly
smart.
fishing. Yeah. He's a peasant in the fly fishing world, and I'm surprised that they didn't kick his ass off the river.
I'm shocked. He got bullied a bit. So.
Chris
being
is a
bullied-
peasant,
He is a
but he
peasant,
brought
but-
home dinner and you didn't. So.
Exactly.
Touche.
And also
Touche.
being bullied by a fly fisherman it's not that bad. It's kind of like it's like being splashed in the face by goldfish.
Right,
It doesn't
right.
really hurt.
Oh yeah, and he'd bully him right back. So it was awesome.
All right.
But yeah, so I started fly fishing more and more. I found a 5-weight Orvis Clearwater setup for sale at a garage sale last summer, and I was like, let's try this again. Maybe I won't hate it. I'm gonna go for bluegill, smallmouth, all the little guys, right? And I started catching fish. I was like, wow, I'm doing something right. This is exciting, And from there, it just continued to expand. I bought my own steelhead setup as a gift to myself, and then I befriended a girl named Krista at a fly tying event, and she's like, you live nearby, we're gonna be friends. I was like, okay, cool. And she's been teaching me a lot about trout fishing on the fly. I'm mostly self-taught for fly fishing, but I've done other guides and local group things. I don't know if you've heard of Ohio Women on the Fly. Super cool group of women and men that just uplift each other, and they do fishing events together, which is super fun. So I've connected with them, and I more independently fish now. And then for my 30th birthday, I was like, I want to tie my own flies because going out and buying them sucks and it's expensive. And everyone laughs at me when I say that. They're like, you think buying them pre-tied is expensive? Wait till you start tying them. And I was like, touche, learned that real fast. So that's kind of how I landed here. I love both. I love fly fishing. I love spinner fishing. I have ultralight St. Croix rods. I have Bass X St. Croix rods. Every year for Christmas, my fiance gets me a fishing rod. So
It's
Super
awesome.
sweet. Yeah.
Hey,
So he buys you a fishing rod for every Christmas, and he gets 2 or 3 for himself, right? That's how it works.
It was the buy
he,
two get one free
yeah,
sale.
exactly.
I'm gonna buy me
Those
2
extra
and get
rods
her
in the garage
1.
came from.
Yeah. If I buy enough rods, she'll never know that we got new ones.
Yeah.
Because she's fly fishing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. A win-win.
All right, I want to talk about so like steelhead. Did you mentioned it quite a bit? So everybody knows I'm originally from the Pacific Northwest, so I have quite a bit of experience with steelhead. My first
Nice.
steelhead was actually on a fly rod, and it is an amazing experience. Was that something specifically that you picked out? Did you guys grow up fishing for steelhead, or is that something where you were like, I'm going to try to pick the baddest motherfucker in the river, which is a fucking steelhead? Like, was that specifically like that, that crowning goal there?
Yeah, so I grew up fishing for bass and bluegill. That was it.
Okay.
Smallmouth, largemouth, bluegill, eating the bluegill,
Yep.
And there was something about steelhead fishing, and I was like, everyone's doing it on a center pin or a fly rod. And I was just like, I feel like I have to try this on a fly rod, and this might make me fall in love with fly fishing.
The hill's a center pin.
They're like a fly rod meets a spinner rod, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
they're
you
in
can
the
get
middle.
a longer drift, a much
Okay.
longer, easier drift than fly fishing. It's easier to cast, easier to work with. I've never used one, so I know very little about them.
They're like fly rods for peasants. They're fly rods for Chris.
That's how and he wants one.
Exactly. Right. It's like when
Chris-
you're like all the when everybody wearing Patagonia is making fun of you because you have a spinning rod, you get a center pin.
So he's
Exactly.
wearing REI gear and has a pin rod, and everybody else is in Patagonia and fly fishing. Look, Chris is catching a
got
lot of
more.
strays, and he's
Poor
not here
guy.
to defend himself. He's going to listen to this podcast and be like, Emma, what the fuck?
Right? What the heck?
Golly.
I taught you how to fish. Like-
Yep. Nope. Listen, she said it here. You ain't shit, Chris. I don't know what to tell you. No. It's really interesting because steelhead that was kind of when I was a kid. We fished for trout and stuff like that a lot, right? But getting that first time, getting a steelhead, even just like the hunt for them, is amazing. And as much as I hate fly fishermen, that is the right way to do it. Now, steelhead are great on conventional gear. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They are great on that. That is fun as shit too. But there's something about that fly rod that makes it amazing because it's not a tiny 11-inch stocked rainbow. It's a legit real fish, and it's kind of a fake one for you because you're in Ohio. Those are some
Right,
fake
it
ass fucking steelhead and salmon. I don't really recognize
Great Lake
those, but
steelhead.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Hey,
bullshit. but,
speaking of that last
giant
fish
trout.
that Alex talked, Emma, when we talk to fly anglers
We do.
and Alex gets all up in his, I'm from the Pacific Northwest
Mhm,
and
mhm.
makes himself sound like he knows what the hell he's talking about fly fishing, which he doesn't. I always want to come down to these people because I'm from the Carolinas. I live in North Carolina now, born and raised South Carolina, but I want you to pronounce a word. I'm going to spell it. Listen closely. I need you to pronounce this word for me, okay? You
Yep.
ready? SALMON.
Salmon.
Yep,
It's salmon.
correct. Nope,
Salmon.
you're fucking
Salmon.
idiot, Paul.
It's
He
salmon.
says salmon like a fucking moron.
Around here, it's salmon. I don't know
Yep.
about South
Okay, so
Carolina.
again, Emma, this is you. Alex, shut the hell up because we've done
I
this
am.
enough that you don't have an opinion
know.
anymore.
Shut up.
But if
Just do it.
if Chris brings home one of his work buddies and goes, "Hey Emma, this is SAL," what do you call him?
Sal?
Mun. Just add mun at the end of it. Salmon. Thank you.
The
I
worst,
cannot make
the
this shit
worst.
any easier than it's salmon.
You say
Sal
Mr.
comes
Paul.
over to your house and his last name is MON. It's like, hey, this is Salmon. Salmon.
Salmon.
Salmon. Exactly. No.
All right. On that note, hey, all right. We're like 45 minutes in. I feel like everybody's really loose, ready to be kind of really open with each other. Would you agree, Emma?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we like to play a game on this show. And a lot of people played this game when they were a kid. It's called Marry, Fuck, Kill. Do you know what this game is?
Yes.
All right.
She's
sweet.
played it. She's definitely
yeah.
played it.
All right. So we do it with the Bass and Bruce spin. So I'm gonna give you the traditional one, and then I got another one after that.
Okay.
So the traditional one is, and if people don't know marry, fuck, kill, I'm gonna give her 3 options. She needs to marry one, fornicate with one, and kill one of them. Right. So your first options are aliens, Bigfoot, or the Loch Ness monster.
I'm gonna marry the Loch Ness monster.
All right. Oh, that's the
a
wrong
fish.
picture.
That's an angler's favorite.
Watertight. I'll get it.
The aliens.
Oh wait.
I
Oh,
think
there it is. Hold on. There's the Loch Ness. Solid. All right. So aliens. What do you got for aliens?
I think I would have a one-night stand with the aliens.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Even
Okay.
And then, unfortunately, Sasquatch or Bigfoot would. Yeah, fair.
I can't
Fair.
believe you would
Hey,
kill that beautiful creature.
if on Tuesday, if y'all saw the TikTok, you can tell when Alex posts all of our TikToks and
'Cause
Instagrams
they're
versus
done
when
well.
I do. Yeah. And then on Tuesday, I text Alex, send me, what the hell did I ask you to send?
You said send me as Bigfoot now.
Oh yeah,
Stat.
I said send me as Bigfoot right now, ASAP. Send it right now. Because I had heard
That's a funny
God,
sound.
yeah, the sound. Anyway, go back and look at Tuesday's post.
Yeah.
And
Is
it's
this lady really excited about
you. Where did you find this? Oh my gosh,
Bigfoot?
this Bigfoot. Where did you find this? And like the internet, she's like, oh. So I had to post
All right.
that one.
As a fly fisherman, we know that you catch tiny, minuscule fish, and primarily you guys like trout. All right. So rainbow trout, brook trout, or creek trout.
Mary fuck kill these trout.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. The brookie, I would have to kill because I haven't caught one yet.
Fuck
Like,
them
I'm
brook
never
trout.
gonna get it. Fuck it.
I'll marry the rainbow. One
Okay.
night stand the brownie.
Okay.
Hey,
And then,
look, I would marry a rainbow too because they pretty fish.
They're pretty.
They're very
yeah.
pretty. They're very pretty.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of them are stunted like the trailer trash we were talking about before because they're stockies and they all look dumb now.
Yeah.
What's funny is if you look at a rainbow trout, they'll never look at you with both eyes because they have the wonkiest eyes now. All right. And then as a fly fisherman, you guys, again, back to small fish, you guys catch a lot of panfish.
Oh yeah.
So bluegill, crappie, yellow perch.
Gonna marry that crappie. Oh, crappie's my favorite panfish ever.
Yep.
I
You
would
ate the
one
shit out of
night
that
stand a perch, and I would nix the bluegill because they taste good.
Wait. So you're going to kill the bluegill and you're going to one night stand the yellow perch?
Yeah.
Dude, who else said that? Paul Glass, famously from the Aggressively Average Anglers podcast,
Ooh.
also said that he was going to sleep with the yellow perch, but it was because of the lips on the fish.
Mhm.
So I got to find
Fair.
that meme. I got to find that meme from Wolf of Walmart. He's got a really funny one. I think that one got us our video kicked off, though, but it was that perch with big lips in an
The lips of an
inappropriate
angel.
position.
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah, that
Remember
That's
that one?
funny.
Yeah,
Community
he posted
guidelines.
that, and we got booted off. Yeah, we got community guidelines,
funny.
Well, he did. Bass and Bruce didn't.
but no. This was This
Oh,
is
he put it
before he
on
did
ours?
the meme site.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so you went, and then you went to
Hey,
tying flies, right?
Real quick,
In January.
real quick, Alex. Real quick, we don't call them panfish. That's some bullshit term. That is not
That's
scientific.
what everybody calls them.
Nope,
you guys
they're
call
brim.
them brim or some shit.
Brim.
They're panfish.
Brim.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Emma, it's my
No.
podcast. They're brim. You call them brim on this podcast. You
Nope.
call them panfish again. I'm muting
No, you
Alex.
Where
Nope.
did brim come from? Like how did you go from like panfish to brim? I guess.
I don't know. It's the fucking South. We make up names for everything, and that's what we
Exactly.
call it.
Exactly.
So
Like he gets
panfish.
really upset because
Brim.
I catch
Brim.
in New Jersey. There's a ton of chain pickerel, and he likes them to be called.
Ah.
No, if it can be a
He likes them to
pickerel,
be
it can
called
be a chain
jackfish.
pickerel. What we call them, jackfish down here.
We call baby steelhead jackfish.
Well, you're wrong.
They
You're
do.
calling it their baby steelhead. They're not jackfish.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You're wrong. This is you call them what I asked you to call them. Unlike Alex, who still in 3 years has not been able to get it right yet.
Come to Ohio. We'll see.
I will, and I'll call them jackfish, and I'll call them
Okay, wait.
salmon.
I'm gonna be honest. Nobody wants to go to Ohio, Emma. I'm sorry.
Touche. I mean, touche. Other than for the potential Great Lakes steelhead tributaries,
Right.
totally get it.
Yeah, if we
That's
come
fine.
to Ohio, we're going to Michigan or Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Michigan.
exactly.
I'd suggest
Yeah.
Michigan.
We will meet Chris and you in Ohio, but then we're
Yeah.
gonna go somewhere else after that.
I'll go to Pennsylvania. We got Paige up in western Pennsylvania, up
Jake?
in the
Matty Ice
Jakes. Yeah. Well, I think Matty Ice is like central, but anyways,
doesn't matter. Paige is from Maine, almost Quebec.
I forgot. Yeah, she's from Quebec.
Wow.
Quebec, Pennsylvania. No, she's not. She's from western Pennsylvania, but Paul's dumb. And her episode, he kept talking about. I kept talking about how she was from Michigan. Paul kept talking about how she was from Canada. It was a very. Paul's
then
there
she
for
left
the chaos
early.
Yeah, and then she did. Yeah, she's
Twice.
never done the end one. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to figure that out. We've got a. I don't know if I say it. All right, I'll say it. Listen, we got
Anyway,
to corner
let's
this
go back.
woman down. and
Flying
force
ties.
her-
I know. We
Flying
just got
ties.
to. We're gonna start. We're gonna have our own for episode.
Flying
You started
ties.
off.
He did.
With the
He
last
did it
one.
there too. Flying
Flying
ties, not
ties.
tying flies.
Flying
yeah,
ties, baby.
What made you kind of start doing that on TikTok?
You know, I've always, since I was probably like an early teen, I've been just infatuated with social media and the internet. You know, I'm one of those kids who spends way too much time on their phone, on social media. And I was like, man, like, what can I do on TikTok that's more fun than the content posting? I was like, oh my gosh, like, why don't I lip sync to fly tying? Because, like, I just like singing to music in general. I don't have a great voice, so I just generally lip sync. And I thought it'd just be fun to like kind of jump into the community and offer that. And I mean, I've built a tiny community and everyone's so pleasant, so I keep doing it. I feel bad I'm not dishing out videos every day, but it's a lot of work. Like, I didn't realize how much truly goes into content creation. So I try to keep up with it, but it's just like adulting gets in the way, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, how long does it take you to fly a tie? And I'm just gonna say fly a tie because that
That's
shit
fine.
rolls
I
off the
love
tongue
it.
better.
I love it. You know, a game changer like the feather game changers I've been tying, that can take me now probably about a half an hour. It used to take me an hour when I was newer to it and didn't understand it and everything. So I can probably knock those out 20 minutes, half an hour, depending on how long it is. A woolly bugger I can do in minutes. You know, a nymph, those take like a minute, if that a pop, depending on all the details. So I've been using my cat's fur for my nymphs. The fish love it. so I'm getting
how do you get your
freed up.
cat fur? Do you sneak up behind them when they're asleep and just start plucking hair until they run off? Or
It's
do you
tempting
have
to do some days.
or do you have clippers where Chris holds the cat down and you shave the cat and they're walking around looks like they got the
The lion
mange
cat.
because
That
they're
would be so
yeah,
funny.
the lion
Oh my
kitty cat.
gosh.
How do you get the hair off of your kitty cats? And is it like caribou hair where it floats around and gets in your mouth and stuff all the time? Is it very messy to work with?
It can be. So I just have a comb, a typical like kitty comb. And Pearl loves to be combed, and she's my probably 12 to 14 pound big girl. She's the white one. And I'll just comb her, and she loves it. She's flopping around. So I'm just like pulling off the fur off the comb and putting it in a bag. And then Toast, she is warming up to being brushed and combed, and she sheds more than Pearl, and she's only 7 pounds. She's tiny. So I'm just collecting so much fur. And to use it as a material, it's not too difficult. I thought it would be challenging. Sometimes it gets fluffy and the air blows it around if I have the windows open and stuff, but it's pretty easy to use compared to some of the other dub material I've used. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep using it. It's free. Like, why not?
And all right, using fur to tie these flies, do you have a fly tying room, or is there just you're doing it like where you're sitting now and there's just all this loose fur flying around at the end of the night when you're done? Do you have a Roomba, or are you doing a bunch of vacuuming, or do you have a fly tying room where it's just full of fucking fur and you're like, the hell with it, we're gonna roll with it?
So many fly tires have reached out to me. They're like, how do you keep your workstation so freaking clean? This is disgusting how clean it is. And I have all my materials, packaged as neatly as I can in little bins. They're actually, I don't know how well you can see because the lighting in here is terrible. That's my fly tying station right there.
Okay.
I have a desk that I made to your left, my right,
Yep,
I think
yep,
maybe.
yep.
I have a bunch of bins where I store all the line, the flies, the hooks, everything. And after each fly tying event, I'll call it, I actually clean it up and throw it in a little trash can because my
Mm.
cats try to eat everything. I've had
Yeah,
Toast
yeah.
break into my feathers and eat them. She actually hid a pack. I haven't found them yet. And I was like, girl, like, where did you hide this pack of feathers? You know, and I'm like, you're going to get sick eating these. You know, they're dyed and stuff. My dog's eating some and throwing them up. And it was just like, you guys, like, so I have to keep it clean for the animals' sake because Toast will sit on my lap while I'm tying flies. So I got to be cautious of what they ingest.
So
to
did they
make sure
ever
they're okay.
reach up and start beating and banging around the fly while you're trying to tie it? That would be
They
fun.
do. Thankfully, they're really good about I say no-nos for them or whatever, and they're really good about if I kind of pull them away, they take the hint because I'm afraid they're going to get hooked. You know, that's the
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
thing we want.
Yeah, the
Um,
last thing you want is a hook in a cat. I mean, have you ever seen a cat get a
Yeah.
bag wrapped around its neck?
or take
Can
a
you
bath or
imagine a
something.
hook?
Yeah, yeah. So nightmare fuel. But yeah, they're pretty good, and I'll play with them. You know, you've probably seen in my videos. I'll shake it in front of them, and they play with it. And then Toast will try to steal some of the feathers mid-tie when I'm not paying attention.
Hey, folks might have missed it. Emma just let out her secret to the perfect woolly bugger. She lets her cat eat a bunch of feathers, shits it out, and then she just throws a hook on that thing. And that's
the fish
the
love
proper woolly bugger. The
Yeah.
fish love it. Like some people call it the shitty lure. Emma calls it Etsy gold.
It's the fly fishing turd.
It's the fly,
It's the fly fishing
Ned rig.
TRD. The fly
That's
fishing
it.
turd.
Yes, the TRD.
Hey, have you ever? All right, so you know what the TRD is, right? The
Yeah.
Ned rig. You know what that is?
Yep.
You ever try to
Oh,
throw that?
yes.
You ever try to throw that on the fly rack?
I've thought about it, but with the weight, I don't know. I have a 7 weight and a 5 weight. I don't know if I can
Yeah.
cast the size of Ned rigs that I use. I use the Z-Man Ned rigs.
Yeah.
My 7 weight might be able to cast it, but it's just I can see it getting. I caught a gnat. I can see it getting tangled mid cast because
Damn,
trying to
fucking
get that
Karate
move.
Kid over here
No
catching
shit.
gnats with her hand.
Fuck explaining that. She literally
Yeah.
just went like, done.
I needed her
Listen.
here the other night when we were recording when I had all those flies floating around. It was during Armando's podcast.
Hey,
Aw.
total side note, because that's what we do on this
I
show.
think it comes out next week, doesn't it? Or this
I think it
week?
comes out
or episode.
today.
Yeah,
It comes
today
out
or
last
tomorrow.
week. Yeah,
Well, I think
week.
it comes out tomorrow.
I don't know.
Today or
Well,
tomorrow.
with the time difference. So the time difference, because it's a week ahead of time. Now I'm thrown off. It's like a
Hey, just go
Marvel
check
time
out.
jump.
Y'all check out Bass Kayak and Beers either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
We recorded an episode with Armando. Both of Alex and I have been on his podcast separately, but he finally
Yep.
got us on together. And that episode comes out, and Alex and I ruined his podcast.
We really did. He tried to bring Dave Wolf of Walmart on to wrangle us in, and that only led more fuel to the fire. You will not contain this feralness, Armando. I hope you're enjoying your vacation. I hope that you enjoyed your podcast while you had it until we fucked it up. So,
He's up
No,
in
but-
Michigan catching steelhead, isn't he?
no,
Isn't that where he went?
Nope.
Alaska.
He went to South America
Ohio.
to catch Chinook salmon.
Ooh. Ooh,
No,
wow.
he didn't.
He didn't. That's all lies. I don't
There's
know
no
where the
such
fuck he
thing as a
went.
Chinook salmon.
Anyways,
Yeah, man.
today when I got out of the car, I saw something really weird today that I've never seen. Where we got out and
Your feet.
nope, that's you. You haven't seen your feet or pecker in fucking years, dude. But oh, don't put those gout infested feet
Careful.
on the screen.
That's for free. People are going to be stoked on
oh.
that free foot
They're
content.
not, because look how gross they are. Anyways, my lawn was full of baby dragonflies, and I've never fucking seen baby dragonflies. I've seen like one or two, right? But the whole lawn was like full, and I couldn't figure out like why the birds weren't attacking it. And it's because we had this one alley cat, back to cats. One cat across the street was just patrolled up in my yard, so none of the birds would come down. But in the process, I mean, I'm talking like hundreds of these like baby, maybe 2 to 3 inch long, like dragonflies, like these
Wow.
tiny little things. And they are the fucking worst, because I was like, oh my God, it's so pretty. And my kids are like, oh, it's magical. And then they go out there, and these fuckers are dive bombing them like they've
Oh,
got a
no.
fucking mission, and they're just dive bombing my kids' faces over and over.
Oh, no.
Alex doesn't
Yeah.
know anything about entomology. Those are mosquitoes.
They were not. No, they were legit. They were not mosquitoes. Shut up. They weren't
I'd be
that small. I said
terrified.
2 to 3 inches. If they're mosquitoes, I'm moving. Like if the mosquitoes
Right.
are that bad. we haven't had rain in like a month and a half, so it's definitely not fucking mosquitoes. It's like the Sahara Desert in New Jersey right now. It's hot. It's gross. My lawn is dead, even though I water it. It's the fucking worst. But that's just old man talk. But yeah. Go ahead, Paul.
Anyway, Emma, back to you. Fuck Alex's dragonflies, little bitches.
Our yard.
As Paul spent an hour of this 59-minute podcast talking about his dead cats and his failed football career. Solid.
There goes that GED education with time and math.
Wow. All right, so you're tying flies. All that's good. What made you, for somebody doing it since January, right? This time of recording, just in case the historians want to bring this up later. When did you decide to put it on Etsy and start selling flies? Because I feel like that's I think it's a great move. It's a strong move, but a very bold one for somebody who hadn't done it very long to then start selling the product.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've had a lot of people reach out, do you sell flies? Do you sell flies? Do you sell flies?
Yeah.
And I would talk to a few local anglers on a few Facebook pages, people who do sell their flies. I'm like, what does it take to sell the flies? Because like not all my patterns are going to be perfectly identical each and every time. I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, dude, just sell them. Like I've had people from Facebook. One of my game changers blew up on Facebook. And someone's like, that was your first game changer? And I was like, yeah, I just followed the steps in this book. It wasn't too difficult to tie. It was just time consuming. And I had double-digit DMs of people being like, I'll buy those off you. I'll buy those off you. And I was like, well, I don't know how to sell these if people really want them because it's just difficult to kind of sort it. And I was like, I'm gonna do Etsy. I think that's the easiest way to get the shipping labels going, the taxes, whatever have you. So I started selling Etsy, and I'm like, if people want them, great. If I get a lot of negative constructive feedback, I'll just back away and take that as a learning experience. And I've got nothing but an outpour of positive feedback. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but apparently I tie decent flies, which is really cool. But I don't want to sit there and take away from the people who have been tying longer and tie better than me. But I've had a lot of locals like, you need to up the price of your flies that you're selling Etsy. And I'm like, no, I'm not there yet. Like, I'm just not. I don't want to make these people feel like they're being scammed, So, but I'll do private sales. Like yesterday, I had a guy local hit me up. He's like, I want 2 green woolly buggers, 2 triple threats, 2, olive green clouds or minnows. Can we meet up? I'm down the street. I don't want to pay for shipping on Etsy. I was like, fair. Like, let's meet up. And we met up at a Mark's parking lot, and the whole bag was full of like green flies, and it's pouring rain. He has an umbrella. He's walking up my truck. He hands me a 20. I hand him the bag, and I'm like,
just selling drugs.
That's lit. Yeah.
Drugs.
I was like, I hope no one's watching this right now because it's just flies. But like the whole baggie was full of green flies because I threw.
Yeah, but that's probably more dangerous than fentanyl. Than fentanyl. No. I mean, more dangerous than fentanyl is getting into fly fishing. Probably.
Fair.
It's more expensive.
More expensive, I'm sure.
Yeah, more detrimental to your mindset. No. Fair. No, I mean that's cool that you got a good experience. I love hearing that you're humble on it too. Like, because honestly, there's a lot of stuff that people do where it's like, hey, honestly, fuck it, throw it out there. See if you can make a little money on it. Cool.
Right.
Like, we all have expensive hobbies. It'd be great if we could cover the costs, right? And if people want to do it, right? But you also recognize that you're new into it, so. Like I think that's a absolute great mindset to have onto it. Like, hey, people wanted it, I'll send it out. I've only been doing it for a little bit. If you want my newbie ones, that maybe they're good because a lot of times people are naturals at this, which is great. Yeah. That's awesome, right? But you took the leap, and that's fucking awesome. Like that's cool to just
you never know when that is your art. And you start making shit that people want, regardless of how long you've been doing it. I mean, it's like Pablo Picasso. Nobody wanted his shit until he started painting it. So you can't sell it unless you make it.
Right.
I guess. I think. Yeah, I think you made a good reference there. I think it was
fair.
Very jabber
my art history, knocking some rust off my brain here.
Yeah. That's okay. Alex couldn't even spell Picasso.
I can. Hold on. Let me Google it real quick. No, I think that's awesome. And she does, again, I think a lot of it is your attitude, how you come across on social media, which is why, if you guys don't know, Emma's going to be handling all our social media. She's just going to, we're going to say vile shit, but she's just going to lip sync it so it looks nicer and seems more positive. So we're going to transition the whole TikTok page to nothing but jet ski hate, but Emma's just going to lip sync it. And it's going to go great.
That is a good idea. Though what you just described is a terrible idea, but the good idea part about that is some of the dumbass shit we say on here.
Mhm.
She should name the flies, the dumb shit that we say, and tie like a Bass and Brews beaver.
Oh, well, we haven't gotten to that one yet. Well,
I know, but that's what I'm just saying.
Yeah. Everybody who knows. Listen, we talked before.
Or a Bass and
Emma
Brews
hasn't
kitty cat.
Emma hasn't listened to a full episode, so the shotgun round is going to be absolutely
Raw.
chef's kiss money. It's going to be, but a little foreshadowing, maybe a Bass and Brews beaver fly would be good. It could maybe work.
Yeah.
It'd be a woolly.
We tried to get the Bass and Brews ding-a-ling top water, but we never made that happen.
No, that was the long smalley.
Yeah, the long smalley.
Here's
Thanks
the
to
problem.
Paige.
No, here's the problem. We started putting it into production. We sent it overseas because that's the only way you can make these things cheap and affordable, right? And unfortunately, River to Sea and Megabass actually stole our idea. Most of our glide baits are actually now based on the long smalley. Emma is like, oh no, Emma, this is all a lie. None of this is real.
Okay.
This is all
My heart
We
was
were gonna
breaking
make
for you guys.
So here's the thing: we were gonna make a wiener topwater lure, but it was gonna be small. Like it was gonna be the
Who's
nib.
gonna eat it?
Yeah, it's gonna be like a
well,
it's gonna be like a 32 centimeter
yeah. It was
whopper
gonna
plopper
be
type bait with two
Oh,
little
the
balls.
ultra
My
light,
gosh.
with
Yeah.
balls rotating. It was gonna be
You could
awesome.
probably
That's
you
so
could probably
funny.
use it on a fly rod.
Yes. Oh, you know what? That's it, Paul. We're fixing this. We're gonna rebrand this.
Are we
Thank
going
you.
into the fly tying game?
I think
Are
we
you and I
We
going to be on TikTok lives tying long smallies?
dude, what what happens if we did that, Paul? Where we were like, we don't know how to do this, right? But you set up the vice and everything, and you're
Right,
talking. You're
you're
like, hey,
taking it.
make sure you hold up. But then when we move our hands, it's just like the smallest dildo ever.
Yeah.
And we're just tying feathers onto it.
Here's the deal: we cannot do it on TikTok; it would get banned. But YouTube is a Wild Wild West deal, so we can do it on YouTube. But I
it's
can,
not
The
the
Wild Wild
I
West
can bear,
these days.
I can
What's that?
barely tie my shoes, so I ain't tying the
Yeah.
fucking fly. You
Well, I
forget
can't
that
tie a
shit.
knot, but what I can do
Yeah.
is wrap a bunch of feathers on a small plastic wiener. I was in
There
a
you go.
seagoing service for 20 years. I know how to wrap feathers on wieners. All right. Wait, Emma, did you say TikTok's a Wild Wild West or YouTube?
yeah.
What did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
some
no.
of the stuff I've seen on TikTok, I'm like, how is this acceptable?
Have you been on YouTube Shorts?
No, I don't really. I watch like fly time videos, gaming
Okay.
videos, stuff.
Yeah,
I
so-
don't mess with the shorts.
3 years
Oh,
ago,
buddy.
TikTok was the Wild Wild West
Yeah.
with their short videos. If anybody listening, if you want to go back to the early days of TikTok, go to
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts.
Oh,
If you're
okay.
just looking for straight up nudity or like extremely suggestive nudity,
Go to
Everyone's flooding to
YouTube
YouTube right
Shorts.
now, thanks
Yeah.
to you guys.
listen, YouTube Shorts is the new Sears catalog for 40-year-old men.
gosh.
Only
No,
40-year-old men will understand that because when that
No.
catalog came in, you stole that shit as fast as possible to get to the
Nope.
lingerie section.
It was the Christmas. It's the Christmas edition of Victoria's Secret that your mama got. That's the
That's
one you
also
stole out the mailbox
that's the-
before, and Mama's like, "Where the hell's my Victoria's Secret?"
I don't know. But it don't open anymore. The pages are stuck.
You guys are gonna make me spend my night on YouTube now.
Yeah,
we go.
It's
gonna be-
it's a weird place on.
It is
Wow.
wild. Like any of the social medias, when you first start a social media platform, the algorithm doesn't know what you want yet. So
Yeah,
it's
Right.
throwing you all of the stuff that is viral or people are watching. So you get a wide range of stuff until you start liking and building up your page.
Mhm.
YouTube
There's
will
none
still,
of that on YouTube.
YouTube
Yeah,
will still
YouTube is
just
nuts.
throw some left field
Random
shit in
shit.
there, and you're
Oh
like,
my
why is this
God.
here? Like, I'm happy it's here. This is pretty cool, and I'm gonna like it, so I get a little bit more. But where the fuck did this shit come from after the last 4 months of me liking fishing stuff and kitty cat videos? Where did this come from?
You get a different
a-
kitty cat video. It's
It's
a
exact.
algorithm.
I wasn't gonna
different
say it.
one. Yep.
I
it's a
wasn't gonna
totally
say it,
different
but
one.
that's what I'm saying. Is you get kitty cat
He's-
videos with meows, and then you get kitty cat videos with wows.
With wows.
That was
God, I
good.
hope-
That was great.
I hope the AI filter you run this through picks that up for a
It won't
TikTok
because
video.
it only picks up the guest and you. It doesn't pick up anything that I fucking say,
It's
which
'cause you're
makes me
ugly
believe
and dumb.
that the AI knows what's going to go viral, and so
Yeah.
it knows that even though
It's
I'm the
not you.
talent and I keep the podcast
You're
going
obviously
and on
not.
schedule, I'm not
You're
what
not doing
the
a good
AI
job
believes.
lately. Hey, so Emma, we got our first viral video was Paul giving YouTube advice. It was awesome.
Oh, priceless.
Yeah, it
Right,
was,
guys.
and it was like hook yourself, hook somebody
Hook some-
around you, or shit your pants, and that
Or
went
following
viral.
us. So if you wanted to go, this was like 3 years ago
It's
now. I
tagged
said
on
if you wanted to go viral, you want to go viral on social media, hook yourself, hook somebody else, shit
True.
your pants, or fall in the water.
Yep,
Fair.
and he's done
Yeah.
none of that since then. Anybody claims that he's the talent.
No, I have not done
But,
any of that, and I do not want to. If we talked about this numerous times, if I hook myself, I'm probably going to pass out and fall in the water. But I'm not recording, so
point,
nobody's
yeah.
ever going to see
That's
it.
how it goes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the algorithm, right? So I have separate accounts.
Spell
So I can
algorithm.
browse. I can't. Nobody here can. Maybe Emma.
ALGORITHM.
That's not it. Anyways, I have separate accounts so I can look at shit, right? Because I like fish talk. I like watching all that, right? But sometimes I like watching just random bullshit.
Right.
So I have a separate account that I go on, like I guess one of
His-
those wonderful. Hold on, Paul. Let me
It's
finish.
wrestling and skateboard videos, and you
It
can
is
ask
a
me
lot
how
of
I
it.
know.
It is a lot because he has our YouTube. I love fucking professional wrestling and skateboarding, and I'm a 40-year-old man, and I don't give a fuck. Like I've already tricked my wife into having 2 kids and marrying. Fuck off. We're watching wrestling.
Hey, who's your most favorite wrestler, Emma?
Oh my gosh, I haven't messed with wrestling in forever, but when I was into it, Rey Mysterio was.
Oh,
was
shit,
his
that's
name.
old
He was
school.
my
Mysterio's
dude.
good.
Yeah, he was my dude back when I was really into wrestling. I was
So,
into wrestling, I think, as a
Mine
kid.
was Goldberg. When Goldberg hit the scene,
Goldberg.
I love Goldberg.
All right, I've got
Nice.
so many. I have 2
No,
comments.
we
One,
just need one. We don't need all your fucking wrestling
I
people
got
for the
one
next
comment
hour.
on you, Paul. One comment on you, Goldberg. So they just Vice TV is putting out a documentary right now called "What Killed WCW," right? And they just got done doing a whole Goldberg episode specifically, and he like shoots on that one where he's like, "Yeah, I was good, and maybe I hurt people. That's their fucking fault." He looked like an asshole. It's a really good documentary, though. It's awesome. Emma, you said Rey Mysterio. Hold on.
Mm.
Rey Mysterio, he's still in WWE, right? But his son is crushing. And his son is crushing because he's teamed up with this lady who everybody calls Mommy, and they call her Goth Mommy because
Ooh,
she's
okay.
she's super goth. She destroys shit when she comes up. She's like a monster when it comes to female wrestling. Like she comes in,
Yeah.
wreck shop, but she's like black lipstick, Bouchier, like she's
We know
all
what the
goth
fuck
as
goth
fuck.
is. You
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
to
yeah.
describe it.
I do
Alex.
have to describe it because
I
that's
need
how
a visual.
exactly, Paul.
Emma,
Shut the
don't
fuck
take
up.
his side.
Thank you. People listen to this podcast for the visuals that I give, asshole. Anyways, yeah, it's really funny you said that, but they had a whole storyline where Rey Mysterio was trying to get his son, right, to be online with him, and you're going to do the luchador thing. And then Dominic broke from that. And he fucking kicked Rey Mysterio in his face. And then they ran this whole thing that like 2 years ago during Thanksgiving, Rey Mysterio and showed up and beat up his dad. He showed on TV. And
You
I
were
was
too
like, "Listen,
old to know this much about wrestling now.
Listen, this is why I love professional wrestling, because it's just really fancy dude soap operas, and it's like my favorite thing ever. I think
You
it's
know
great.
what's you know what I would rather watch more than bass fishing on TV
Kitty cats.
is fake. Well, no, I would.
Kitty cats,
I'd
yeah.
watch kitty
He's
cats
gonna
before I
watch
watch
that, yeah.
anything on TV ever. But no,
100%.
fishing is boring as shit on TV. Would you agree? Do you ever watch fishing on TV, Emma?
You know, I used to watch some like YouTube videos of people fishing, but I feel like I
Mhm.
kind of grew out of it.
But you don't watch MLF or the
Valid.
elites when they're fishing a
No,
tournament, right?
that's
Yeah,
bad.
because
stuff.
that's just boring, right?
It is. It is.
I'm 42 years old. I'd rather watch grown men lathered in baby oil and Vaseline fake wrestle than watch stupid fishing,
Man.
Touche.
because fishing sucks.
Wow, this is how we get. No, fishing's great. Stop, Paul. You're right,
It's
though.
lovely, but watching people get skunked is the boring part, and that's usually what ends up happening.
Well, I think like even
Yeah, I watch that shit in real life enough
Yeah.
that I don't watch anybody
Right.
else fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. Actually, after this comes out, hopefully you guys are enjoying the new shower beer episode of Bass and Brews. It's where I talk about how fishing doesn't have to be that serious, and sometimes that means like for content creation specifically, like you don't have to sink everything. Like just be personal, which again is why I think you're a great guest. You're a junior fly tire. You probably don't have the biggest resume in, fishing, right? But people are
Right.
enjoying it because you're having a good time with all of this. This is supposed to be fun. The social
Exactly.
media content creation thing is supposed to be fun, right? And I do
Yes.
feel like there's a lot of people in the video. I do talk about tournament folks. We won't talk about that here, though. You guys can go watch that video. But content creation wise, there's people that are taking it like uber serious of like, I'm going to quit my job, blah, 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 blah. But all you're doing is destroying the fun out of this. You're turning it into a job. And guess
Yes.
what? If you are not, and we've talked about this before, if you are not making all your money to support yourself due to this activity, don't take it that serious. Like,
Yep.
Fishing,
Have fun with
fishing
it.
is not fun. I mean, if you're catching fish, it's
It's super
fun,
fun.
But outside of that,
That's what we all chase after.
but see, that's the fly anglers think fishing is fun, regardless if they catch anything or not. Oh, I'm out here in nature and the
I agree
scenery
too.
and
No,
the
no,
running
no, that's just
water.
no, Paul's a super
this is
tournament
me.
guy.
And I'm like, to hell with that. I don't. If I want to go sit out in 100-degree weather and watch the fucking birds fly by, I
No,
can
think
go
that's
do
cool.
that and not cost me any money. I don't need the kayak. I don't need all these lures. I can take, I'm not tired at the end of the day. I can go to fuck home when I want to. But fishing is none of that. There's nothing fun about fishing unless you're catching
Oh,
fish.
it's all
That's all
fun.
I'm gonna say.
No, it's all fun.
No.
Paul's wrong.
No.
My new favorite activity, Emma, is I go out in my kayak and I fish a lot of tidal for freshwater fish, but it's still tidal, right? And when the tides aren't right, you know what I do? I find myself the middle part and I fucking take a nap, and it's like my new favorite
That's
thing.
dope. That's
And
cool.
I just float and I put headphones like this on. A lot of people are yelling at me about that too, because I wear like noise canceling headphones. So I don't have to hear the outside. I can just listen to whatever the fuck I want to
Yeah.
listen to and enjoy my life. And I take a fucking nap.
Yep.
And it's only like a 10-minute nap, which is like the
it's
perfect
fair.
nap.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It's a perfect
Yep,
little
so
power nap.
Alex is the
refresh.
kayak. Alex is the biker of the kayak world because he's asleep floating down the middle of the fucking lake in everybody's way.
Trying to
No.
avoid the guy.
Emma,
I make
we're
sure
talking.
I'm out of the way.
Emma, you're talking about fishing's fun, tying lures are fun. It sounds like you and Chris are dialed into fishing. Y'all both love it. You both do it. What do you do for fun? What's the one activity that you do for fun that has nothing to do with fishing?
There's a few. I like reading, playing video games, hiking.
It's
camping.
got to be. I knew she was going to say video
kayaking
games.
without a rod's painful, but I'll do it.
I knew video games. Look at that fucking chair.
I
Paul.
know the
Like
chair.
that
The chair gave
Gaming
away the
chair.
video game.
Yeah.
What do you read for fun?
Oh.
I read all kinds of stuff. I have dabbled in the spicy, books that are trending all over TikTok a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, I like a lot of fantasy stuff. I'll read just like the general. Like right now, I'm reading The Count of Monte Cristo. It's a 1,200-page book. I'm not very
Yes,
far
I
in.
know what the hell
That's
that
a
is,
big
but
one.
geez,
Yeah.
that's
you're
a big one.
reading the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
See, you definitely do not have fun fishing if you're reading the fucking Count of Monte Cristo.
Hold on.
I've been working on it for weeks, and I'm only like 200 pages in, so that's how it's going.
We can gauge this a little bit more, Paul. So you say gaming. What does that mean to you?
I game on my PC, not as much as I used to, but I do.
What games are you playing though?
Like side scrollers and stuff, like Hollow
Okay.
Knight and Mario and Zelda.
Well, hold on. You said
Oh, that's
Hollow
old
Knight.
school.
Hold on. Hollow Knight is not. And so we're gonna go back to also
the fuck is
not
a Hollow
fun.
9?
The best
Hollow
game
Knight
ever.
is a game. It's a wonderful game, but it is fucking brutal and will
It
die.
is
It seems cute.
Brutal.
It seems really cute,
They're
right? There's little
cute.
bugs. There's little
Yeah.
bugs. Hopefully Silk Song will come out soon. Probably not
Please.
ever.
I know.
But it seems real fun, but it's a very much a Souls-like game that's in a nice, cute package. So you're looking for punishment still because that is not relaxing at all.
It's a great time. I've had to step away from it before. I was affiliated on Twitch for a while from streaming Hollow Knight,
Okay.
actually, and then I got it on my Nintendo Switch.
All right.
And after I got the Switch, I really honed in on trying to 100% it,
Yeah.
and I am close to 100%ing that game. I
That's
don't stream
awesome.
it obviously through the Switch, but I zoned in on it for 2 months, and then I was like, "Oh, summer's here. Bye."
Yeah.
Fishing.
Yeah.
I have no
High
idea what
flying.
I have no
It's
idea
a-
what the fuck y'all are talking about at
it's
all.
a beloved
I'm stepping
video
away
game.
for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Paul, it's a beloved video game. It's done by all right, she's out of here. There's
Look, let me
fucking
tell
no
you-
way. She's got a full gaming chair. She like can we
She
I-
just
I
said she
knew
was
this
on
gonna be-
Twitch. True gamer.
Well, yeah,
Hey,
but
let
remember
me
when
tell you
Alex
this.
Rudd? Hold on. Remember when Alex Rudd went to Twitch and it didn't? He was trying to run his podcast through Twitch.
Yeah. Twitch is like the gaming
video
platform.
games,
Though
yeah,
we got a couple guys. One of them isn't really fishing this year, but Alex on the Water streams all of his fishing shit every time he
No
goes,
shit.
tournaments or not. He
That's a
streams
good
it all
idea,
on
maybe.
Twitch.
I want to
and
know what
he's
the
got
engagement's
a
like.
phone on a big boom arm that he can move back and forth. That's not in his way. Like
I'm about
he's got
ready
a
to
damn
text-
good setup.
I'm gonna text Rudd right now and see if he still does it on Twitch. Go ahead though.
But
What
yeah,
were you gonna
hey,
say?
I was gonna say this. She talked about reading books. You know how everybody reads books and then they watch the movie, and after they read the book and they watch the movie, all they do is talk shit about how the movie wasn't good. So
Mhm.
this is what I do. I watch the movie first and never read the book, so I'm never disappointed in the movie.
It's a decent methodology for that.
All right.
Hey, how long are you gonna suck on that one White Claw there, Emma?
Oh, this is number 2. I
How-
put them both on my desk.
Number 2.
Number 2. Look,
Yeah.
we should shotgun something tonight before the show ends.
No, because that ended in failure. Hey,
Well, it
what,
ended in failure for Alex. Shotgunned a beer slower than I could pour it in a
it was
glass
so bad,
and
it
then
was so
drink it.
bad.
You guys will
But-
probably shotgun a drink faster than I ever could.
No.
Well, I'm not
No.
shotgunning shit anymore
No.
because I spilled
Yeah,
a White
Paul's
Claw
like-
on my computer during a live
Oh,
show, and my
no.
computer
fucked it
started
up.
acting the fool, and I was on the live show for like 10 minutes because my computer shat the brick.
That's a bummer.
It
Yeah,
is.
but
All right.
I fixed it by blowing on it and
It's bad.
waving
No.
it in front of the fan, and I don't even know what.
You
Anyway,
learned
this
that at
shit.
a young age to blow on technology to fix it. It still
He's
works
an
to
older
this
guy.
day.
Yeah, he's treating it like a
Yeah.
Nintendo cartridge. You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta get in there.
Exactly.
Hey,
I
so
was
back to
on
the
a
books.
live show. What about
I'm on
books?
this. I'm on this quest.
Oh
right?
my god, I don't want to
I
listen
know.
about your fucking.
Tell me the
Don't.
details.
bullshit.
Spill the beans.
Here's the quest. So I want to read 30 books this year, non-digital or audio. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm at 10.
He hasn't read 30 books in his entire life.
That's not
up to
true.
this point.
No, that's not true. I used to read a lot, and this is a new thing I'm trying to do, right? And I'm stuck on this one book, and I'm almost done, but I feel like I'm slowing my progress because the book is so good, and I don't want it to end.
Aw.
Do you know what I'm talking about when you?
Yeah.
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 So this book's called Between Two Fires.
Ooh.
And it's an amazing book. It has to deal with the plague during medieval
what?
times.
Like the
The
bubonic
what?
plague?
Yes,
the
exactly.
plague.
I would read the
Yep.
heck out of that.
Did you say the
you should
plague?
Stop, Paul.
It's the
So-
plague.
Anyways, so it has to.
It's a
deal
long
with that.
A. Plague.
It has to deal with that, right? But it's like the reason I got it like recommended to me is they were like if Dark Souls was a book.
Ooh.
So it's not like fully historic because there's some like creepy monsters and there's
Uh-huh.
like this whole heaven and hell battle going on as normal people are trying to go through this whole thing. It is phenomenal. I recommend almost anybody to read it because it's very like quick. It's very much moving, but then they've got some real like deep themes. I'm really excited, but I've like stunted myself because I'm like, I've got 50 pages left.
Aw.
Last week I had 100 pages and I find myself slowly reading this because I don't want it to end.
Or is
Fair.
it because
And
you can't pronounce half the words in it?
None
Like
of
plague.
that, Paul. No, none of that, Paul.
I'm reading a
Plague,
book
I
about the
just-
Black Plague.
Anyways, it's really good. Check
Look,
it
if
out.
y'all hear
Between
me ever
Two
on this
Fires.
Between Two Fires. If y'all ever hear
Between
my
Two
ass
Fires.
up on this podcast talking about a book I'm reading, you should probably call somebody to come check on me
No,
welfare
Paul.
check.
hourly.
No, I think because up next
All right,
after that is
You
Sal
don't
Bell.
when
Hold on,
you
Paul.
are about to make a statement, you don't have to say I think because you're gonna say it so we know you're thinking it.
Oh, you're so
Don't use so
frustrated
many
right now.
filler words, right?
But what's next is
Right?
Sal Belly, right? So Sal Belly is this book about all these dudes chasing world record bass in South California, right? Southern California.
Yeah.
It's like Mike Long, who's very controversial in that thing. Anyways, it's this whole book about how specifically these guys devote themselves to trying to break that largemouth bass record. It's called Sal Belly. Looks real good. I can't wait to dig into it. I've already covered like Trout Bum. I think we talked about this earlier. Have you ever read that one, Emma? Trout Bum?
No.
Trout Bum's really good. It has to, it's kind of like a river runs through it,
Okay.
but like a Jarrett style, but like written in the 80s. And it's just this guy who just gave up on like trying to make real money. And he just fished. He was a trout bum. He just fished trout on a fly rod. And I can't remember his name. It's like Gershed, I think is his last name. But he made a whole career out of this. He's done like 10 books. But this
Wow.
is his first one. And this is back like kind of before the whole van thing is popular now, right? Where every rich kid spends
Right.
their college fund to not go to college and go live in a van instead. This guy did it in real life, and then he wrote, and it was awesome. Trout Bum's really good. You should check that one out.
Hey Emma,
you
what's your
read-
favorite fishing movie?
I don't know if I've actually watched any like fishing movies. I've been
Jaws.
recommended a few. Jaws. Okay, I love Jaws. Those movies are great. Every
Yeah, that
single one
is.
of them.
Yep.
Freaking love them.
Yep.
Yeah, because they are fishing for Jaws. So
Yeah, dude.
movies
My
are.
favorite-
I love those.
My favorite fishing movie is Grumpy Old Men.
Grumpy old men.
Oh, I
haven't
don't
heard of
like that one.
It's from the 90s. You were probably
Yeah.
just born when it came out. It's two old men. They do fishing. They are fighting over a old woman, a hot old woman. You should watch it. It's real. It actually is a really good movie.
Okay.
I like
It's
how-
pretty much
I
when
like how-
Alex and I are in our 80s. Alex
Yeah,
and I have
yeah,
never
no
met,
shit.
but if we ever, it's like Alex and I in our 80s that if we
Yeah.
actually live close to each other, that's probably
It's-
we're grumpy old men.
You're not
for
wrong
sure.
on that comparison, but also I love how you gave her the worst. You're like, it's an old ass movie. Like everybody's giving new shit. And you're like, it's awful. Just pick this one.
She's reading a book from 150 years ago, The Count of Monte Cristo. She might know what
That's
a grumpy
different.
old man
But
is.
that's
Listen.
that's fair.
No, listen, reading an older book is different. You should read those older books. Paul, you should join this with me. You should read some of these books.
I'm not joining the Bass and Brews book club. Fuck no.
You're missing
We
out.
should do a Bass and Brews
be
motherfucking
dope.
book club.
That would
You
be
should.
cool.
You know what? And you should record an episode with people who are reading the book, and I'm not going to be
We
a part of
should.
it.
That's
You
fine.
should.
missing
I'm
out.
not.
I
I'm
would
out.
love more episodes where you weren't involved. That would be my favorite, Paul. Is if I had.
I can
less
make that
episodes.
happen.
My God,
I can. We can start right now.
I've put it on my Santa's list every year for 3 years.
Hey,
If I
Emma.
can just be in less
What's
with
up?
you.
So we've talked about a lot of stuff tonight. What I want to know is, are you out and about traveling to any social media contacts, or do you and Chris take any fishing vacations? Do y'all go out and do, because you said earlier you like to camp and hike. Do y'all do any destination type fishing trips?
As wild as the destination gets for us, it's like Pennsylvania, Michigan. We might go to West Virginia. My fiance has a Bitcoin billionaire friend who has a bunch
Whoa.
of land that's private in
Oh
West
shit!
Virginia,
Oh,
like a
Hell
section of the
damn.
river. Yeah,
Huh?
and then at
Hey,
so
can
in
we get access to that land to do
I
a
know,
Bass and
right?
Brews
Let
meetup?
me just sneak that in there for you guys.
Yeah.
We're we are actually getting married November 2nd of this year. Thank you.
Oh,
thank
this is. We've had
Hey,
two
did you need
guests.
somebody to
you.
officiate because Paul is legal to officiate.
Really?
I can marry you.
If we can't find one, because we have one in mind, I'm gonna call you. Like, you coming to Ohio, and
Oh,
we'll put you on
fuck
Steelhead
yeah!
that weekend.
It will be the first ever Bass and Brews wedding live.
That would be awesome.
Like honestly, we've offered this like 5 times, but we would love
That's
for this to happen.
hilarious.
Yeah, because
hey, I like having a plan B. There we go.
okay,
And Paul
then
is
plan
everybody's
B, huh?
plan B because if you look at him, you'll never be fertile.
Yeah. Hey, the only plan B that was, what am I going to say here? Hold on a
Yep,
sec.
nope, you're bad.
My
at
wife,
it. Anyways,
my
Emma,
wife
go
did
ahead.
not use any plan B because I got 2 kids. Hey-o!
Anyways, Emma, nope,
Heyo.
that wasn't funny. Nope, go ahead, Emma.
Because you ruined it talking over me. But anyway,
Because you
yeah,
had a
so
bad
destination fishing. Let her talk, Alex. Golly, I mean, all we're trying to do is find all of our fishing holes.
I know we're trying.
So and in Cleveland, Ohio, every winter they do a Barbie rod fishing steelhead
Ooh.
derby, and
Oh,
all
shit.
the fundraising goes to fishing events in Cleveland, Ohio. And I participated in that this year, and there's a bunch of raffles and local vendors that submit gear for raffles and stuff. And we won a trip on a private lodge on a private section of the Conneaut River for steelhead, which is 2 weeks
Damn.
after our wedding. So that's kind of a
Hell yeah.
destination that was unintentionally happening.
Yeah.
But I'll go to PA. I'll go to Michigan. I'd love to travel more, but something we'll pursue in the future. So
Going to Michigan and Pennsylvania, do y'all have friends there? Obviously, you said you had a friend in West Virginia. These places that y'all have friends, did you go meet up and do fishing, or are y'all
Yep.
going there just okay?
Yep, I have a few friends in Michigan where they live on private sections of river
Mm.
and with brown trout and stuff. I caught my first wild brown and rainbow trouts on private sections of river, and I was just like, I need to live here. Like, how did you do this? How did you get here? And I met them through my friend Krista, and I'm going up to Traverse City actually next week. And they're all
Ooh.
like, hey, we heard you're coming to Traverse
That's a
City. You
Coast
wanna
Guard
catch-"
town.
Oh, is it? I guess that
Uh-huh.
makes sense with all the freaking lakes and
That's
stuff too.
my wife's mom's family is from Traverse City, the best cherries in the world.
They're doing the cherry festival the
Yeah.
week that I'm out there. I'm really excited for that.
We get she's still got some family up in there, and we get dried cherries every year from Traverse City.
10 out of 10.
And if you've never eaten too many dried cherries, you have never pooped a cherry log,
That's true. That's true.
because dried
Hey.
cherries will run through you
They will.
like a
It's lot.
Miralax coffee.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Hey, also, Traverse City, it might not be the biggest city known from Michigan. That's usually Detroit because of Eminem.
Yeah.
But Traverse City has Skittles.
Traverse City's awesome.
And
Lots of-
Detroit
lots of
has
good
M&Ms.
pizza,
That was my dad joke. That
all the Skittles.
was
Do you know who
fun.
Eminem is, Emma?
Oh,
No.
absolutely.
Okay.
I've been listening to his new song Houdini.
Wait. Hold on, Emma, because you are a little bit younger than us, but you're not you're still a millennial. You're not like
Yes.
Gen Z. You're still a
Right.
millennial. Do you know
Yeah.
Eminem from before, though?
Oh, that's a freaking Lily. One of my
Okay.
TikToks is to his
Yeah,
older
yeah.
video. Or
She
older-
Yeah,
was-
yeah, I saw them.
She was the ones. She was of the age group listening to Eminem in like 6th and 7th grade. She's the reason that parents were wanting to get Eminem canceled in the early
Yeah, yeah.
2000s.
I do think it's really funny when you see it now. There are, I mean, all right, I don't want to get on old man rant, but again, there's a lot of Gen Z folks who are like, holy shit, Eminem is very offensive. And they're thinking of the Houdini song where he shit on his own daughter. But then you don't realize like his other shit, that it was like way less, or no, way more offensive. Like this is
Tame.
very tame.
Yes.
And when he came out with this one, I was like, all right, let me try to remember this. And I pulled it up, right? Let me listen to like the Marshall Mathers album. Holy shit, I forgot how fucking gnarly that shit is.
Oh yes.
It's a lot. It's good though. I dig it.
Hey.
But it's gnarly.
Emma, who's your favorite country music artist?
Oh, it's a Brooks and Dunn.
Don't lead
I
her
call it-
into an answer.
I call it trash country. I really like
Oh.
Hicks tape.
Oh, so, who?
Hicks tape. It's one of my coworkers introduced me to trash country, as we call it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Morgan Wallen when you said trash country.
No, pull up the playlist because my poor brain here. I have a whole playlist called Trash Country. It's smaller.
Hold on. I
Hardy
gotta
and
grab.
Hicks
I
tape.
love that she has a whole playlist
Yeah.
called Trash Country.
Hey,
Yeah.
hold on one second. I need to grab a White Claw myself,
cares.
but I want to hear a few seconds of
Hicks
some
tape.
trash country.
All right, let
Oh
me try
boy.
to pull this
Oh
up.
boy.
I
Pull
can
Hardy
pull
or
this up.
Hicks tape. What are
Hicks
some of the
tape.
good
I'm gonna
ones?
work on it, but we gotta Emma. We gotta keep talking while
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
working to try. I
Working?
don't think this is gonna
You
happen.
working hard or hardly working?
Well, I was gonna pull up Hicks
That
tape.
White
It's
Claw,
not
was
gonna
that just
happen.
waiting for you in the hallway? You got that so fast.
Well, it's because Paul pisses and gets a White Claw at the same time. Does not
No.
wash his
Is
hands.
the fridge in the bathroom?
He does, yeah.
No,
Fair.
no.
Yeah, it is.
I'm married. I'm married. So my
What does that matter?
studio is actually in my garage in North
He does.
Carolina. It's 101 degrees yesterday.
Oof.
The high
Stress.
today was like 85, but it was still 100 degrees.
Yeah.
But luckily, I've got a little portable air conditioner in here now. Otherwise,
Be melting.
I
Yeah.
would there would be a puddle
Hey,
of
thank
ball
you.
sweat beneath
Thank
me.
you,
But
Patreon.
no, Patreon had nothing to do with that shit.
They had nothing.
Thank
I
you,
take all
thank
that
you,
money.
Crusher. Thank you, Crusher.
I take
But-
all the Patreon money.
No, I'm out, Emma. I'm in my garage, and so the fridge is right here. I just walk in one door, and the potty, our little half potty downstairs, is here. So everything's close by.
Nice.
But
It's
I'm
a lot
not
fancier.
melting.
When I left to go to the bathroom, I did not go to a convention potty. I piss in my
It's got a
sub
sump
pump like a
Nice.
degenerate, and I don't like my
Like an
neighbors.
adult.
No, I don't. No. It's like a degenerate because when I piss in my sub pump, you know where it goes? Right in front of my neighbor's yard.
It's the only green grass in his neighborhood. Because where his
right
pump up
now-
pumps out.
Right now, because of how dry it is, it really is. But I piss in the sub pump, and I have new neighbors, and I don't like them. And,
Ah.
I continue. I didn't like the previous neighbors either. That's where I started this. I'm going to send my piss down their way.
Send in your
hey-
regards. Yeah.
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 Welcome to the neighborhood, punks. Hey, Emma, you said you like to camp. Are
Yes.
y'all tent campers? You camp hammock? You got a trailer? What kind of camping do y'all do?
We do tent camping, but there are times we've gone to electric sites and we've glamped in the sense of like it's October, November, and cold, and we'll
Yeah,
put
yeah.
like a space heater in the yurt or something crazy to make it nice
Yeah.
and toasty.
Hold on. You said you put it in the yurt? You have a yurt?
Yes, we have a yurt.
Fuck
A
it.
whole ass yurt.
Fuck
This
it.
ain't
That's
y'all
awesome,
renting the
too.
yurt. Y'all bring the yurt with you.
Yeah, we get like a whole rug in there. We have a table. Like we
Oh
make
my
it
God, that-
fancy.
Do the cats go? Do the cats go camping?
I wish. I think they put a hole in the tent and run off.
Oh
That's true.
yeah, we don't. You gotta. Hey, you gotta leash train them like you would a puppy dog.
I've tried this.
Did they
one,
just
Toast.
fall over?
Yeah. Or like there was one day I took Toast outside on her leash and she took off and somehow I lost the leash and I was like, we're never doing this again. Sorry, Toast.
You were traumatized.
Yeah, I was like, my cat, she's gone. And
That's
she has
not
a leash
Toast.
trailing behind her. You know.
That's not Toast's problem. That's an Emma problem. That's
is.
Toast is living its best life.
Yeah.
So, do you said earlier sometimes you don't like to go camping when you're not fishing. Do y'all do fishing camp trips where you go out for a long weekend and kind of catch and cook and live off the land? Do you do stuff like that?
We have, yeah. I think the
Oh, that's
last time we did it, we went to a lake called West Branch. We went with a bunch of friends and we all went
Spot
kayak
burn.
fishing. We
Oh, yeah.
caught, yeah, right. Sorry, guys. I mean, mosquitoes, great. But we caught, walleye, we caught perch, we caught bluegill, and we cooked up that night and ate it. It was really cool.
Oh my God, you talking about making videos that people will watch. I
That's the
don't
way to
watch a
go.
lot of fishing YouTube videos anymore, but the stuff that I do watch and for whatever reason, most of them are Minnesota and Canada. But these guys that go on these week-long excursions where they're canoeing like the boundary waters and they're fishing and they're kind of living off the land. I mean, not really,
Right.
but they are catching and stuff. Those are great videos, but y'all have that access up there that you can do stuff like that in the summertime and it's not scorching hot.
Right.
But that's pretty neat because we've dabbled in the outside world here with camping and stuff like that. So we always like to talk about people about camping because
Hey,
as kayak anglers, we have a lot of people that let me finish, Alex, before you completely take it in a different direction.
Stop.
Thank you.
Stop.
I appreciate it. Anyway, we do with the kayak guys that tournament fish, a lot of us camp because it's cheap and you're
Right.
gone for a week and we do that. So we do like the camping aspect of it. So if you got any camping trips or tricks or tips, why don't you share a few with us? What are your best camping hacks?
Ooh, that's good. I feel like we're spoiled because we go to electric sites, so we have electricity while we're
Because
there.
you have
but
a fucking Europe.
I always say have battery packs charged, man. That's the biggest thing
Ooh,
is
yeah.
like, always have an extra battery pack or two. Always have the extra water. That's a big thing. Be ready for rain. The last time we went camping, we got rained out by inches of rain. Inches. And all of our friends woke up at 4 a.m. with floods in their tents. So
And your
always,
yurt was dry with your rug in it and
believe it
your
or not,
heater.
it was pretty dry. We got lucky. We packed up at 4 a.m. My car alarm went off. I felt so bad waking up everybody at that campsite. So make sure your car alarms don't go off. But yeah, packing the food. I've watched a lot of like TikTok videos. I save them to a little, like gallery of like, camping food hacks and stuff. I suggest looking into camping food hacks if you don't want to pack like a heavy amount of food in a cooler. Stuff like that's always beneficial.
I dehydrate the majority of meals that I eat when I go camping are all dehydrated
Nice.
meals that I made. She did finish. She was
I
done
did-
talking.
yeah, you're
Alex. See?
No, he's not.
Hey, I got one quick question before we move on. You got the bull ring in your nose,
Yes.
Oh.
and then you've got what the fuck is the thing over the top? What is
it's
that?
A chain. I call
It's
it
a
a nose
chain.
chain.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
nose
gold
chain.
chain.
And there's two holes and it goes in like any other ring. No shit.
Yep. There's two little like barbells, I guess I'll call them in here,
Okay.
and then the chain has two little hoops that just like hook right into them. Terrified.
I've
someone
never
will
I've
say-
never seen
got on
that
it
one before.
someday,
That was
but-
because I was seeing that on your videos and I'm like, I've never seen that one before. That's pretty interesting. I'm scared of needles. I almost passed out from a TB test 2 or 3 times. So I'm not
This
getting anything
fucking guy.
pierced. But I also got tattoos and I loved it and was addicted to it and had to quit before I got more tattoos.
What
But-
tattoos do you have, Paul?
well, you've seen both of them because I've been pretty much naked on this show many times.
But we've never talked about them. What tattoos do you have?
Yes, we have. We've
No,
talked
we've
about them on
never.
the show.
We've never talked about them.
So I've got.
Oh God. Ugh.
I
Showing
can't, hold on.
off tonight.
Wow.
I've got
What is
my
that supposed to be?
grandpa's. Damn it! Which way is it? I got
That
my
way.
grandpa's initials above my
Okay.
left pepperoni nipple.
Uh-huh.
Did you say pepperoni nipple?
Yeah,
He
because
did.
my nipples
He
are
did.
big, and they're also. So if you ordered a
that
pepperoni,
North Carolina
if you ordered a
tattoo
pepperoni-
is fresh.
if you ordered a pepperoni pizza from a 1-star place, that would be my nipple because it's got hair in it. But the other thing I got is the North Carolina tattoo
Yeah,
in the
that
early
thing is
2000s. The graffiti
thrash. That
tattoos
is not
were
good.
were in.
Yeah.
Nobody
that's-
asked you. It was actually pretty nice when I got it 20 years ago.
Yeah, but now
needs to
it's
be
not
redone.
good.
No,
Yeah,
it's got to
that's
be
trash.
redone, and maybe I'll get it redone at some point. But yeah, I got a
Trash.
couple. I don't have like Alex has got some really nice tattoos, and
I
Emma
do.
we've been
I
seeing
do.
your arms, and Emma's got like a sleeve on
do.
her
I
right
do.
arm. So y'all got like real good tattoos, but I had to quit because I hate needles. But I'll be honest with you, when
No.
I got the one on my chest, the guy was like, "Man, this might hurt a little bit." And he started, and it was wonderful. But give me a TB
Chest
test.
is fine. Chest is fine. I've got my chest tattooed. That didn't hurt at all.
How about the one? How about the one on your butt crack? How did that one feel, Alex?
Not on my butt crack. I do have a tramp stamp. That one
Nice.
hurt way. Well,
I
the one on the
hear
tramp.
lower back is brutal.
It's really bad. I have a little cupcake because of my wife's little cupcake. So I got a little cupcake put there. I think
So
the
where did
worst
she put the
one-
little wiener since you're a
This
little
was
wiener?
the worst one. This was the worst one.
It's a work
It's
of
like a
art.
trident all the way up.
A work of
That's
art.
the one that hurt the most because it's
Really?
like all up in. Yeah. I
It's
hate it
also the
under
one. It's also the one that his buddy did on the boat the 9 months he was gone
No.
with needle and thread.
No, that's the that's the tram stamp
That's
one.
the cupcake.
Yeah,
Just
So
the
that
cupcake.
cupcake.
one. It's
So
the
that
prison
cupcake
one.
looks like a cupcake after you
No,
have your
dude, it's-
your kid's
it's-
first birthday where they smashed
hammered.
the cupcake.
Dude, it was hammered until I got it fixed. But yes.
Mm.
Tell us about your tattoos, Emma, because you've got a lot going on here.
Yes. My legs are not done. My right leg's almost filled. It's a work in
Holy
progress.
shit!
Left
Good,
leg
good.
is my cat leg, so everything on my left leg is a kitty.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm officially a cat lady.
yes.
My arms are almost filled. My right arm has this tiny area that needs filled. There's no rush. Actually, do you guys know who Drew Wilson is?
Uh-huh.
I know
I
who
have
Drew
a-
Turner
I
You're
got
is.
talking
my
about
Wilson
Drew. No.
tattoo.
You're talking about Drew LR, right?
Yes, I got my Drew
Yeah.
LR tattoo this year. I was so stoked he came to Ohio.
How did you figure it? Oh, you got him. He came to Ohio.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
He
that's
posted on
amazing.
Instagram like, "Yo, like I'll be in Ohio for a few days." I was like, "This is my calling. I've been wanting this forever." So I messaged
don't
him.
have
And I
any of
never
my
thought I'd hear
shit.
from the guy, and he hit me up.
I
was like,
have
"Oh my
tons of
God."
his stickers. I
Same.
love for him to come here. They're
Yep.
like they cover my kayaks and all my Yetis and all
Yep.
that shit. Like
Same.
he does. We actually talked. He's got a really busy schedule. It's really tough to get him on the show. Some of
Yeah.
that's my fault too. I think I dropped the ball a little bit, but Drew is amazing. He does like traditional tattoo art, but it's fishing centric, so it's so
Yes.
amazing. He also has great products. If you guys don't want to get tattoos, also he does like rugs. I do have the rainbow trout rug.
Nice.
It's actually right over there.
That's
I'm not gonna bring the whole camera, but I have
Right.
that rug that sits in the area. He also, if you guys have ever seen my videos where I do like that random bluegill air freshener bouncing in my car,
I have one.
I have that. Yeah, so that's from Drew
Nice.
LR. Yeah, like he's fucking awesome. I think it's drewlr.bigcartel.com. If you guys want to check him out, he is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's so humble. Meeting him in person was so cool.
Yeah.
And actually, I didn't tell you this. I dropped the ball. He was my influence into fly fishing. Like he
Mm.
is
No shit.
why I picked up fly fishing. I
No
watched a few
shit.
of his videos. Yeah, I found his Instagram account in like
Yeah.
2019 because I was just looking for tattoo artists and stuff. I was like, man, he
Yeah.
likes fishing and he tattoos. Holy crap, you know. So I followed him. And he posted a video of him carp fishing on a fly, and I was like, "You can catch carp on those tiny little."
Oh,
skinny
yeah.
things," you know. And I was like, "I'm gonna start fly fishing," you know.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of started my actual
Mm.
interest in stepping forward with fly fishing. I
He's a
told him
cool
that,
ass dude. He's
and he was
bringing
like,
that,
"Whoa."
which we love here, is bringing that like punk rock attitude
Yes.
to fishing.
That is him in Compass, and he
Yeah.
skateboards, which is even cooler.
Yep.
So he's awesome.
Hey, so do you have like a fishing arm or fishing leg tattoos, or do you have fishing tattoos intermingled upon it?
I
Like-
do. I have
okay.
the Great Lakes steelhead Drew threw on my wrist. You know, I was like, "Hey, Drew, I'm running out of room. Squeeze something in somewhere." It's like, well, it's like that's my favorite thing to do is squeeze stuff in weird spots. So he threw this little
That's what
Great
she
Lakes
said.
steelhead on my wrist. He threw this little Great Lakes steelhead on my wrist. I have a bass on my right leg and then just a little fish on my right leg from a traditional artist. So I keep adding
Awesome.
fish in random spots, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it just makes sense.
What we
But-
need to start seeing from you, Emma, is when you tie a fly that is a production of Emma Simone or Emma Calzone, you need to start getting your flies tattooed on your body.
That would be
Oh,
sick. I have
that's
the
That would be
marketing.
cool as-
I have the room.
Marketing. You know,
That's
you're
a
out,
really
you're
good
tying a
idea.
fly, you're wearing a tank top, and on your right shoulder, you got your fly.
tried
Like
that.
this.
This caught me that fish today. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
What?
exactly.
Hold on, you go Max the Hatch. This is what I'm doing.
We're back to the hatch today.
Or
And it's
get
just
your
that shit bully or a fucking woolly bugger, right? It's the cat
Yes.
turd
Oh.
bully wugger.
Cat told
Hey,
bug.
we can Emma can get the little Smalley tattooed.
Oh, yeah.
Tramp stamp.
Emma,
I don't
you
have a
should
tramp stamp.
yes,
no,
the
it's
little
not
Smalley in
enough.
the
It's only that big. It's probably best for right here on your hand. It's just
Emma, you should get your 2 most favorite flies tattooed on your eyelids.
Oh my
that's
So
God.
every time you
probably a
blink,
lot.
we can see.
Yeah.
Every time I blink, here I'm matching the hatch.
Yeah,
You see,
I'm gonna wink with my left
I do
eye.
think
That's
that's
what I
cool.
caught the brown trout on, and the steelhead salmon came on my left eye. See,
You know it would trend online. Like that's
Oh,
what's
hell
yeah.
crazy.
It
Like,
would.
People would go nuts.
I do like Paul brought it up again. So you have a bunch of tattoos. That's very not traditional to fly fishing, right? And maybe it is now, but normally it's not. It's a bunch. When people think of fly fishing, they think of a bunch of old fucking dudes who are just worried about their mortgage payment and they're fucking going out there. You know what I mean? Like that's, and it's really awesome to see a different kind of face
yeah,
and
that is true.
personality joining that, right? Because we've talked to plenty of bass fishermen who came from a punk rock or
Mhm.
some kind of alt kind of culture.
Yeah,
who are
the
now
punk rock
transitioning into
skateboarding.
this.
Yeah, the punk rock
Yeah.
skateboarding. We've had quite a few on. I mean, we had Josh and
Yeah.
Dark Waters on. We had Adam Reiser, who came
Yeah.
from the punk rock band scene out there.
Well, Adam Reiser was like a drummer, if I remember right.
yeah,
Like,
for a band that you knew. You knew a band that he.
Yep.
he was
He was in
in,
a bunch
and
of
then-
hardcore bands. So
Yeah, and
That's
then we,
it's cool to see that. It's
Yeah.
cool to see as people are
Nick
like,
from Cast and Crank comes from the
well,
punk
Nick
rock
is,
scene.
he's
Yeah.
like a legend because
Yeah, he
he
is a
was
legend.
so into that scene, right? And it's awesome to see all these folks that came from this kind of like DIY fucking nutso, right? Scene. But as they get older, okay, we're not going to be as crazy, but we're still going to do this shit ourselves, right? So this even goes back to 4 or 5 episodes ago where we had Scales and Tails. That guy was new, right? But he's doing zines for fishing, which is like traditionally very punk rock kind of. I can't be in a magazine. Well, fuck it, I'll just make a magazine myself. And it's again great to see these alternative fishermen come in. I think it's awesome. I think it's great.
Hey, have you? So you talked about earlier how your fly fishing realm that you're in has been very welcoming and very helpful. And we do talk shit and joke about how the fly fishing world is very closed off, and this not this episode, but other episodes about how they're closed off and how they're purists and this and that. Are you seeing in your realm growing with more of a alternative, I guess we'll call it alternative style of angler coming in there?
That's a good question. I think my observations right now are there's quite a few like younger adults getting more and more involved, like younger than me, getting involved in fly fishing and tying. Like O&R Flies. I don't know if you guys follow him. He's probably like a freaking 17, 18-year-old kid. Loves
Wow.
tying flies and fishing them. He's really
That's
sweet.
awesome.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, like a younger person's involved in fly fishing, and like the older community swarms him, the older community swarms me, and it's super cool. But I am seeing a lot of younger people. I've seen a few alternative girls on TikTok who are like, yeah, let's do a fly tying video, and I'm going to fish it that same day and see if I catch a fish,
Nice,
so
full
I'm
of
seeing
shit.
more and more of the alternative folk getting involved, and
That's
I'm
awesome.
trying to like understand if there's a correlation to that, like where the misfits, what have you.
Mhm.
Because when you think of fly fishing, you might think of like some older rich dude, right? Who's just going to
Yeah.
Orvis and dropping hundreds of dollars on a shirt.
Instead,
like-
you have a younger lady dropping hundreds of dollars at Orvis. So no matter what, Orvis is getting paid one way or another.
Through that.
you bring up something that intrigues me though, is you think about tying flies. that's a very artistic activity.
Yes.
Yep.
You've got to have some artistic ability to do that. And I'd be
Yep.
willing to bet that if you can tie a fly, you probably are good at drawing shit.
Right.
And so you see these folks coming through that have artistic ability that are probably good at drawing. They're probably good at music. They're probably good at playing instruments, all those little things. And then they get into the tie flying that the details matter. And you got to create something out of nothing, got to create something from just your mind. And it makes sense that you're probably seeing an influx of younger people into that fly fishing world because you get to create something. Like you can only pour so many worms, right?
Yeah.
Pouring soft plastic stuff. But when you get to fly fishing, you can create a little something that's a little different, that's yours, and not completely different from anything you've ever seen before.
Yeah, and the fish eat it. I mean, I don't know how to explain how rewarding it is to tie a fly and have a fish eat it. Like
It's got to
so
be.
cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
You're never going to see me create a lure and ever take it fishing. I buy lures. I do not make them. I'm not making
because they're pretty.
I buy them because I'm not making it. I'm not pouring anything. I'm not going to tie a jig. I'm not going to tie a spinner bait. I'm not making not a nary fucking lure I ever fish.
No,
ever.
Paul,
because it's not going to catch fish, and because somebody that's already making it has already done all the work. I just want to go throw it.
I get it.
But Paul, you completely, I think, covered it. Like that is one that is doing it right. There's a lot of dudes who are not just dudes. By dudes, I mean, just to be clear,
People.
I mean
Folks.
people. Anybody can be a dude. Emma's a dude. I'm a dude. Paul's a dude. Everybody's a dude, right? But like when dudes make plastic lures, right, and they buy whatever the mold is, and they just shoot those molds, right? That's like kind of like I kind of get that, but a lot of them are doing it just to like try to make money or whatever, right?
But they also,
hold on,
those people,
Paul.
hold on. Those people also are making colors.
Yeah, the
are
colorways
intrinsic
are
to
100%.
There's different. There's
But,
nothing wrong
like-
with people pouring lures. Let's make that clear.
Right.
Correct. I didn't get to finish the rest of my statement, you piece of shit. But
Well,
anyway.
I thought you might start talking about them like you talk about jet skiers. I was just trying to head it
No.
off and make sure that we didn't
like, do your
alienate
thing.
all of our
Again,
friends.
That like leads to that like creative kind of like push happening, right?
Yep.
But again,
Creativity.
I think it's awesome. Like doing flies again, like Paul said. I was gonna say before, you're such a dickhead. I don't even want to give you this compliment, but it is like it's this creative bug, and I think it's great for younger folks. It's great for a younger generation. Like you want to create something, you want to kind of build something, and you can do that more. You said you're super into social media, right? And there's a way that you can do that, but now you get to build something, right? That is a tangible, actual product, not a like fake. Maybe not even fake, right? But a digital persona. You, Emma, actually get to say like, hey, go to here and you can physically get what I put time into, which I think holds a lot of weight, not just for you, but for anybody else. Like try to push for that. Like that's awesome. I think it's amazing.
We talk about kayaks getting people into fishing because it's the easiest way and the cheapest way to get people off the bank and onto the water.
Absolutely.
And we come up from it from our perspective of bass fishing or fishing for brim. But from this conversation we've had tonight, we're looking at people getting into fishing because they can create something with their artistic ability in that fly world.
Yeah.
And that's potentially getting
That's cool.
them into fishing because they can create it and they can go out there and they can catch a fish on something that they did that they just started 6 months ago, like Emma
That's
did.
cool as shit.
Yeah, that is fucking awesome right there.
Like you should
talk
be
about
stoked,
getting people
Emma.
into
Again,
fishing.
you should be fucking stoked. Like
Thank
you're
you.
taking this again, taking the DIY punk rock approach to it,
Yeah.
but you can actually see results from it, which is amazing.
I will never, ever, ever in my lifetime be able to catch a fish on a lure that I made.
Dude, we
And
can
I'm a
even
little
get you to-
jealous that other people can do that. Actually, I'm not
Yeah.
jealous because I'm not going to
Everyone
make it
can
happen.
do it.
But yes, that's the thing. Well, not everyone. I mean, have you seen Matty Ice? Do you know who Matty Ice is on TikTok?
Yeah, Matty Ice is trash.
Yeah.
I
I'm pretty sure you could drop that. I'm pretty sure you could drop his lure in a tank of fish that hadn't eaten in a week and they still wouldn't bite it.
Yeah.
Anyway, side note. But
All right.
just in general, people creating something and catching a fish, it's like folks that hunt, folks that make their own arrows or their own bows or stuff like that create something. They go out there and they harvest an animal with that. There's a lot to say about how that makes you feel. And that can probably bring a lot of people. It has. We see, we talked about tonight, bringing people into the sport because they can create something they can use. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right. Well, Emma, we've had a wonderful time tonight.
Goodbye.
It's been amazing.
I'm just kidding. Don't
great.
sign off.
Goodbye.
No, don't sign off. No, I'm just kidding.
Still, you guys are stuck with me.
All right. All right. Perfect.
Hey,
so here's
do you
how it
know
works.
your Christmas lights were supposed to come down like 6 months ago?
They're Halloween lights.
Oh, well, that was 8 months
That's
ago.
even worse.
Your cat's
All
back
right.
there, like, I could see way better out of this window if she didn't have
Right.
all these fucking lights on back here.
Right.
All right.
Oh,
Here's how it
look
works.
at Toaster.
Before we get to our next set of questions, right? Because our next set of questions, I'm going to tell you this right now as a Bass and Brews, probably not enthusiast, right? As you are, right? Our we call them brewskis. That's the name of our listeners, right? They are.
You just threw away fly tying hair. You just threw it on the ground.
No, she's got a Roomba to collect it. Anyways, they are a very welcoming bunch, but we're about ready to hit a section of questioning where they are going to judge the shit out of you.
Ew.
And there's nothing we can do. So before we get there, I want to give you a chance to shout out whatever you'd like right now.
All right. Time out. I'm going to take this over because Alex says this and people are like, oh, all right.
Paul, stop.
Everything that he just said, but
Stop.
this is your chance to shout out your sponsors, the folks that help you fish, the folks that have helped you learn how to fish. This is your opportunity now to shout out all the people that sponsor you or have helped you fish.
Nice. Okay, I could do that. I'll start off with my fiance. He's, as I told you earlier, he's the one who really taught me how to actually get away from the hook and the worm. Not that that's
but
a
he
bad
sucks
method.
at fishing. Fuck you, Chris.
He did catch a bowfin on a Bobby Garland. I can't judge the guy.
All right.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Bobby Garland?
You don't know what a Bobby? It's like the best little tiny. Oh my gosh, you gotta look those up. I have every color you can think of.
We don't have those in South Carolina.
Yeah, you do.
Carolina.
Cabela's has them, I'm sure. Bass Pro.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that later. I don't know what the fucking Bobby Garland is. If it don't catch bass, I don't give a fuck.
They catch everything. Bass,
it catches
canvas,
everything.
Yeah, bowfin, pike. I've caught pike on them. I've caught catfish on them. It's insane. Everything eats them. But anywho's, Chris is my main shout out. My fiance, he really is the one who helped me grow in my fishing obsession. F you, Chris.
He caught so many strays tonight, and we didn't even get to see. Usually the significant other pops in and was like, "Hey,
right now he dropped
who's
off
gaming?
White Claw."
Oh, he's dialed in on World of Warcraft or something, isn't he?
He's a busy boy. Yep. But Krista, I have to shout out Krista. She owns a fly guiding company called Silverhead Fly Co. You guys should check it out. She's on Instagram, on TikTok.
Silverhead Fly Co. Is that her handle for stuff?
Yeah. Silverhead Fly Co.
That's what she just said, Paul.
Super sweetheart. She is happy to help anyone learn anything. She is just happy to see you catch a fish. That is super awesome. She participates in all kinds of local programs to keep, the fisheries happy and healthy and things like that. So I can't advocate enough for her. And then I'll shout out my dad because he's the one who started my fishing journey as a child.
Hell yeah, Pops.
Can't thank him enough for that. So, yep. Those are my words.
That's it's wonderful because again we are about ready to hit.
It's time.
Boys and girls, let's see how far down the rabbit hole we can go today. Woo! It only takes one.
All right, here's how this is going to work. This is the patent pending Bass and Brews shotgun round. We are going to ask you a rapid fire set of questions. What we need from you is just your answer. We don't need a maybe or if or that. We also don't need an explanation unless
Okay.
we ask you. All right. And this is either going to raise you to the highest highs to become a serious angler or the
Okay.
lowest lowers into the dark waters. Emma, are you ready?
Lowers.
Let's do this.
All right. Texas or Wacky Rig?
Wacky rig.
Ah, my girl. There we go.
I knew that would be it from a flying.
no shit.
Yeah.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Just
I
argued
love
with
it.
someone about this yesterday.
Yes, I love it. Dude, the sweet and salty is amazing.
Yes. With that
Yes.
citrus of like the saucer, and he's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
so good. So good.
It's so good. Is it
I like
Crocs?
hairy pepperonis on mine. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, would you stop? Nobody wants your nipples on a pizza. Is it Crocs or is it flops?
Crocs.
Ah,
Ooh.
she's killing them.
Well, I knew that should be Crocs or the Flying, right? Because they can't wear flip flops, so shit be slipping all over the damn water.
No
Same
shit,
with Crocs.
right?
Believe it or
And
not.
actually, it's none of those.
Yeah, but you
It's,
put four wheel drive on those, and they stay a little bit better. The flops,
Yeah.
you get some rainbows in the water, and
Oh,
it's
you're
like
done.
walking on.
They're
It's
done.
like
You're
walking
done.
on Astroglide.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, shout out to Astroglide. We're that close to having the Bass and Brews blend of Astroglide lubrication. It'll smell like low tide, but you can slip in. But anyways, I don't know where to go from there.
That's terrible,
It's a
terrible.
bad ad.
absolutely terrible.
Hey, Astroglide, if you're listening or if AI picks up on this, we'd really like a non-endemic sponsor, and I feel like you're the best one. So
Yeah, we have not taken a sponsor. We're not until our first sponsor is Astroglide.
Nice.
she's like, "Nice, can I be done?" No, hey, if you're on the water for let's say
5 hours.
5 hours, would you rather have 5 2-pounders or 1 7-pounder?
Ooh, the 7-pounder.
Nah, there we go. Size queen. I dig it.
Mhm.
Um,
You gonna spend more on a rod or a
there
reel?
we go, Paul. Thanks, Paul.
The reel.
Okay.
Is this a fly? Is this a fly?
Oh, it's a, whoa.
So we got to make this.
Oh,
I got to
yeah.
understand.
Oh,
Is this
shit.
from
Wait,
a fly
wait.
side or is this from a spinning side?
I'm gonna
Let's
say
do both.
both. I would
So
say
you're-
both, and I would really want
really?
to spend a little extra money on good line. Good line to me is like.
Well,
a
we
big
didn't say
deal.
line.
Yeah,
we
I
said
know.
rod
I'm
or
just
reel.
reel.
throwing that in there, but the reel. I think.
Even
On a
on a
fly
fly rod?
On a fly
Yeah.
rod, you want a more.
No shit. I don't
Depends,
think we've
I guess,
ever
what
had a
you're
fly
fishing
person.
for.
Nope.
Yeah, I would think it would depend what you're fishing for. If I'm going for some bigger fish, I want a good quality reel that once that fish
Okay.
hits the reel, I know it's not going to let me down.
All right, makes sense.
That's surprising. I would have thought for sure it'd have
but-
been a rod on the fly side.
Hey,
I'm not judging you because I don't know shit about fly fishing, but it's just interesting.
I mean, everybody else will, so we don't have to.
Yeah,
Right, I'm
that's
going to
right.
get shit on in your comments.
Oh,
No,
it's
no,
gonna
you're
be
not. None of those
wonderful.
motherfuckers know how to fly fish anyway, so they don't know.
All comments will be from Matty Ice, and he's just gonna be shitting on her because she catches something bigger than a bluegill. You're on your way to the water. Is it hype music or slow jams?
Hype music.
I knew
Okay.
it had to be hype music.
It had to be. So, what does that mean for you personally, though? What's hype music for you?
It could be EDM, anything poppy with an upbeat. It could be metal. It could be hardcore.
Okay.
Anything that's
Okay.
fast paced with a louder beat, or
We-
like I
we
really
need
am
a
really into bass.
A band. What band are you putting on hype music to go to the water? You're
Oh
going
my
fishing tomorrow. You
I'm gonna
got
tell you
one
what, she's
band.
not saying Brooks and Dunham. I'll tell
No.
you that much.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't know. I have a whole every year I make a new playlist and I just go based
Yeah.
off of what's on that
One
playlist.
band,
So-
Emma. Just name one
Hey,
band.
hold up. Hold on. Give me 1 second because my memory is
Oh.
shot right now. It's not going to be Trash Country. It's
We
gonna-
have ruined her for the whole night. She can't even
Uh-huh.
think of a band.
Yep.
My mind is shot. You know what, Emma? That's how Alex and I feel at the end of this dealing with each
Every
other.
episode.
Norma Jean.
Okay.
Who the,
Metal.
what is a Norma Jean?
It's metal. Was
I have
metal.
no idea. I'm not good
I know
with
you
music.
don't, dipshit.
You'd love them.
Is
No, he
Chris
wouldn't.
is,
No,
is
he
Chris
wouldn't.
is Chris going? Is he listening to the same music on the ramp, or y'all argue? Okay,
Yeah,
y'all seem like two peas in a pod, so I don't think
try.
y'all have a lot of arguments.
Well,
going
except for Chris sucks.
He's gonna listen to this and be like, "Damn."
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Poor guy.
I've
And
just
you
turned it
did, and you
into
didn't stand
Chris
up for him one
He's like,
single
"My
time.
fiance, why'd I give her a ring?"
Hold on. Paul, you nailed it right there. She has not
Yeah.
stood up once for him.
Poor
She
guy.
has just let it happen. She let a mediocre podcast shit on her fiance the whole time.
At least he likes cats, right?
Oh,
No, he hates
him
them.
and
He
Toast.
loves dogs.
Him and Toast. He does love dogs. My dog's obsessed with him. My dog is like Velcro to him. They're
That's
best
awesome.
buddies. Yeah.
All right, let's get back to these questions. We've got
We've got a few more, and these are all food related. Have you ever
Ooh.
eaten largemouth bass?
No, I have not.
What?
would you?
Missing out. I would absolutely try it.
Hell
Okay.
yeah!
All right.
It tastes better than salmon.
Ugh.
Salmon?
Yep,
Sam,
that too.
Exactly. Have you ever eaten beaver?
I have not. I didn't know you
No?
could.
What?
I mean, you
Yeah.
can.
I
It
mean,
depends on what
look,
movie you
it
take.
is
Wait,
delicious. We have you're in Ohio. Y'all got beaver everywhere.
We do.
All you got to do is find somebody that catches beaver, and I guarantee you, there's people trapping beaver up there somewhere. And all you got to do, look, you can
there's
clean
a
it and
ton
cut
in
it and put it
Ohio.
in a crock
there's a
pot,
ton. Yeah.
or
Well, I
you
mean,
can
yeah,
cook it
put
on a
in crock pot.
smoker,
Yeah.
and it's delicious. It's like pulled pork. Put some barbecue on it.
Oh,
It's delicious.
We got Emma's hair messed up at this point because I will go back to she also has the most immaculate hair on TikTok.
She does.
That
Oh, thank
never
you, guys.
goes. Yes.
Thank you.
But I'm glad
One of her
that
TikToks,
the,
she's like, I didn't do my hair today. Sorry, guys. It's not curly. And I'm looking at it going, shit, it looks just as good as it always does.
But I'm glad I got her with the It Matters the movie. You take her out too. 'Cause,
That was good.
It was. All right. So we've asked again. Everybody's gonna judge.
We've
it.
missed one, but I can't remember what it is.
I can't either.
It wasn't a good one.
They'll let us know in the comments. Actually, you know what? I got one for you. You ready, Emma?
I am ready.
All right. So we've talked about how dysfunctional me and Paul are, right?
Paul and I.
You fucking piece of shit.
He's not wrong.
Anyways,
I'm not.
he's
Never.
not wrong. If me and Paul were your mom and dad, who's mom, who's dad?
Alex's dad.
Yeah.
Paul is mom.
Wow.
Yeah,
Paul loves
because
kitty cats. Paul is mom.
Okay,
Paul
I'm mom
loves
because I
kitty
like kitty
cats?
cats.
and he has larger breasts than me, so that's instantly there.
You did wear a bikini.
He did. All right, so
Well, Alex
oh,
is so short he could motorboat my boobs on it, and I wouldn't even have to kneel down.
listen, mommy. Anyway, all right, everybody's gonna
Shut
judge
up.
you on these. Shut up! What? It's daddy.
Daddy.
you bitch. There it is. Ugh, I don't like that.
Peepaw.
Anyways, peepaw. I like peepaw. All right, everybody's going to judge you on these ones, but we are going to get to the most important question of the day. Every great angler loves a good sandwich. What are your top 3 sandwich proteins?
Ham
Mm.
is number
Perfect.
one.
Perfect.
Turkey and then chicken.
Wonderful. Listen.
What kind of chicken? How are we preparing the chicken?
You could just be like deli chicken. It could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
chicken breast.
So just some
grilled
sliced deli
Yeah.
chicken.
Yeah.
I like it.
or grilled
All
chicken.
those,
Yep.
and you could put all
Listen.
3 of those on the same sandwich, and it'd be delicious.
Absolutely. Yes.
Listen, anybody who wants to come on the show and you want to get fucking weird with your answers, just realize the most basic, honest answer is the right way. When you start talking about spinach and black beans
And
and
cheese,
fucking cheese, like those are all wrong answers.
and those are all
Ham?
answers that we have gotten: black beans,
Wow.
spinach,
Yeah.
and cheese are all
Yeah.
answers to that question we have gotten.
But you said
And
protein.
listen,
Exactly.
listen,
Exactly.
but
But
spinach
still.
might be right because I'm gonna tell you
No,
right now,
spinach
Bailey
has
from
protein in
Sears-
it. Oh,
It
that's
does.
true.
But,
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Alex, I'm sorry.
Bailey from Serious Angler has the biggest badonkadonk in the whole fishing scene. This man is packing so much heat that like the Kardashians are trying to leverage him into the family. That's how much ass this man is packing.
And this is the only reason Alex watches his fishing videos
The
is to
only
wait
way.
for him to stand up to look at it at his ass.
I watch his videos on mute. Just so we're clear. Emma, hang out for a minute. Everybody else, it's been great having you along. Listen, it's Bass and Brews. Hopefully you have a great day and you're not fishing in a kayak because fuck those guys.
You're jelly.